Martinez, she'll take it all the way, lay it up and in. Big alley.
The following is a production by the students and staff at Lubbock ISD TV.
Swing and a miss, Rocky Mount.
Monterey, Coronado, and Estacado. All of them are perennial playoff contenders, wreaking havoc to every name on their schedule.
Oh, what a ball! What a score!
Elite? Yeah. A tradition of winning? But when did that tradition start? Was it the state championships that laid the foundation? The district titles that come on an annual basis? Or none of that at all? Maybe it's something more. And tonight, we are going to find out because the Boys of Fall are back. Presented by Lubbock ISD TV.
Welcome you to the final week of the regular season. After weeks and months of preparation, it all comes down to this. We got the Chiefs from San Angelo Lakeview in what will be their final game of the year, and the Matadors from Estacado, a team primed for a great postseason run. We welcome you inside the booth. Devin Ward here alongside Carson Ward. The Ward duo is ending the season. We started together. We're ending the season together. Carson, I'm pumped to have you up here, man.
I'm really excited to be up here. It's going to be a great finish to the end to the season.
Yes, ending it with a bang as we have the Chiefs versus the Matadors. It's the 28th time that these two programs have met. The Matadors have dominated the series, leading at 20-7. Of course, 208 miles separate these two schools, and they have a history of playing each other. Let's get into some of the names you need to know coming into tonight's matchup. Of course, we always start with the visiting team, and we're going to start with their quarterback, and that is Jalen Chavez. Chavez is kind of a guy that loves to roll around in the pocket. He's a great athlete. He'll scramble around, buy some time, and let his receivers get open. They live and die by the big play, Carson. We saw them do it against Big Spring, and it paid off. Estacado looks to shut down those big plays tonight.
Yes, they do, but you also got to focus on Isaiah Salazar. If you're looking for a guy that can do it all, here he is. Last season, Isaiah Salazar played on both sides of the ball. He got hurt earlier this year playing only defense, but he's still a big-time playmaker. He averaged over 10 tackles per game before the injury, but now he's back. I would look for number 2 to be all over the field tonight for Lakeview.
Absolutely, yeah, and you like seeing guys come back, right? Injuries is an unfortunate part of the game, but when guys make comebacks and they make some noise like he has, that's awesome to see. On the other side of the field, we always talk about the running backs. There's 4 different running backs for Estacado, right? And we always talk about the Ross brothers. Well, I want to talk about James Bozeman. He's quick as a hiccup, according to Coach Blaylock. He's 5'7", and he's lightning quick. He needs a seam, and he's gone. He's one of 4 running backs, like I just said, and to quote Coach Blaylock once again, you don't count your touches, you make your touches count. Bozeman did that last week. He had 11 carries for 152 yards. That's crazy. You love seeing it for Bozeman.
And he was explosive. Like, he was just all over the field, like almost like we were just saying about Isaiah Salazar.
Yeah, as quick as a hiccup. I love that line because, man, it makes you think of hiccups come and go pretty quick. Another guy that's really quick, though, is Antonio Willis, and he's on the defensive side, and he's really stepping up as of late.
He is, and they've needed him to step up really big because they've been in a lot of these positions before where they've just been down, and they need him to make a big play on the defensive side of the ball, and man, he's just been playing great. He played a great game against Big Spring. He had 6 tackles. 4 of them were solo. He also had an interception. You don't see that a lot. But on top of that, he was all over the field, like I just said. And he had to step up for the players that were injured, and that's the biggest thing.
He was the Max Preps Defensive Player of the Game for that game, and that's why we wanted to spotlight him. There's so many great athletes at Estacado. It's the reason why they're having the success that they're having this season, and they're looking to continue that tonight. They need a win. They want to send their seniors off right, but most importantly, they want to hit their mojo as they're heading into the postseason. So, who will it be? Will it be the Chiefs or the Matadors? We're going to find out in just a few seconds. Kickoff coming your way. Presented by Lubbock ISD TV.
I am one of the many Lubbock ISD TV students learning professional broadcast skills right now.
We have the opportunity to work with professional equipment during our high school sports coverage.
Learning skills that have allowed many of our students to work college sporting events with professional networks.
If you appreciate our coverage, we hope you'll consider one of our sponsorship opportunities.
Your support will help our program continue to grow, providing funds that allow us to learn using the latest broadcast and streaming technologies.
If you'd like to support us,
contact Kenneth Dixon with the information on your screen.
And thank you for watching.
moments away here at Lowry Field at Plains Capital Park. We want to thank you for tuning in and supporting Lubbock ISD TV as we bring you this big matchup between the Matadors and the San Angelo Lakeview Chiefs. Devin Ward here alongside Carson Ward. Carson's a senior at Coronado, and Carson, reality kind of just set in for me.
What's that?
It's senior night for our Estacado Matadors here tonight, but it's also senior night for you. This is your last football game. This is our awesome third-year students and a lot of our second-year students that are seniors' last football game to broadcast. Reality's setting in a little bit.
Reality is, and I wasn't even thinking about it until you just mentioned it. Man, you're going to get me in my feels.
That's devastating is what that is. But talking about the seniors and their last ride, this is 22 seniors at Estacado in this football roster. They were sophomores when Coach William Blaylock got here, and they brought him in, and this EHS program has risen, and we're so proud of these 22 seniors and everything they've done for Estacado, representing the Big E. All right, kickoff moments away here. Of course, this game's being presented by the students and staff of Lubbock ISD TV. Make sure you like and subscribe and do all the things, and share the feed as we are now underway. Kickoff started at 7:02. Fair caught there at the 30-yard line, and that's where the Chiefs will get the ball going here. The Matadors won the toss, deferred to the second half, and so we're going to get to see Chavez and company come out for the first time tonight. You know, we previewed him in the pregame. Chavez, Carson, is a guy that can run around in the pocket, extend some plays, and make things happen. Because, you know, whenever he's moving around like that, the defense has to cover for longer, and he's able to throw the ball down the field.
Well, and the biggest thing, I think that a quarterback, like the biggest trait that they can have is being a good game manager. When you're a good game manager, you can scramble, you can pass in the pocket, you can do all the things that you would normally do, but then you're also taking into account like clock management, all the strategies that go along with being a quarterback.
Cortez on the carry right there. Gaining a few on that first down run right there. Estacado keys to victory for tonight. We asked Coach William Blaylock coming into it. He said turnovers, playing fast, and play our style of football. Those are the keys to victory tonight for Coach William Blaylock. And his team has been forcing a lot of turnovers, Carson, on that side of the ball. Last week against Big Spring, the defense had a heyday. I believe they had over 5 turnovers. I have that stat. But when you have turnovers and you're forcing other teams to have turnovers as they're going to the air here, caught in Estacado territory right there. Francisco Ramirez hauling that one in for the Chiefs.
That's just a beautiful ball right there. Great back shoulder fade. It was a little underthrown, but that made the wide receiver break away from the DB and actually get some separation on the sidelines.
It was the play fake, too, that made the defense bite on something else, and they had the one-on-one matchup that they were looking for right there. Going back to the turnovers, though, that's a big focus for Estacado, and that's been a big key to their success this season. It's going to be Cortez on the quarterback keeper, flying forward, and we'll gain a few on the play.
When we wondered pregame how this Lakeview offense was going to function, you know. We don't know a lot about the outsiders coming in, but besides what we can infer and from what we've seen on tape. But I know for me, I didn't know what to expect, whether that be more run or more pass, but so far they look like they're a very balanced offense.
For sure. Chavez in the shotgun. It'll be a handoff to his running back. Gaining a few on that play was Ian Cortez. The senior running back is going to make this third down and short. They want a healthy dose of that, and they want to be balanced, Carson, because when an offense is balanced, we talk about it all the time, right? It keeps the defenses on their toes. You got some stats coming our way. I know it.
I do, and Mr. Cortez has 84 carries for 347 yards. He's averaging 69 roughly yards per game, and when you're doing that and you're getting that kind of production, good things are going to go your way.
Absolutely. 3rd down and 3 here. First third down for the Chiefs tonight. It's going to be a handoff to the running back, Cortez. Swallowed up from behind, but he gets the yards that he needs. That's going to move the chains. Average points this season for Lakeview. The Chiefs average 17 points per game, but can pop off for big points on any night. They had 41 points against Lubbock High, 43-point performance against Big Spring. Of course, both those teams, both of those games were losses, but coming off their bye week, they've had a ton of time to focus and prepare for today. And, you know, with no playoff potential for San Angelo Lakeview, they're going to give everything they got. This is their playoff game.
This is, and obviously you just mentioned that they haven't had the season that they wanted, but they also have the sour taste of the loss that they took to Estacado last year being a 61-7 game.
Chavez gets sacked on the play. Keyshawn Harris comes in and makes the play, a senior making the big tackle on his senior night.
Man, he's played all 7 games. He has 89 total tackles with 46 of them being solo. He's averaging almost 10 tackles per game, and he has 8 TFLs. That is amazing stats.
Tackles for loss. Keyshawn Harris, that's a name you need to know on the defensive side of the ball. The linebackers for Estacado, a big strength with Nate Orta and so many other big-time playmakers. Of course, D. Green on the outside. A lot of great weapons. Chavez feeling some pressure immediately is going to be a design screen, but we're going to hear from our official for the first time tonight. I promised him I wouldn't mess up his name. He told me he's the only person in Lubbock with his name. Let's hear from him real quick.
Number 70, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
So his name is Chase Shigurik. Shigurik? Yeah, he told me he's 1 of 1 here in Lubbock. This is his 11th season officiating, 6th wearing the white hat.
When he told us his name is actually Shek.
Oh, yeah?
It's Czechoslovakia. Yeah, I can't even pronounce the country. But, yeah.
Second down and 21. Chavez with a man in motion. Looking to his right. Has a man in the flats. It's caught. It's his running back. Cortez will gain a few on that play. And 2nd and 21 is going to be 3rd down and 12.
Well, now you make 3rd down. I mean, it's still a long 12 yards to go, but it's much more manageable than it would have been.
Right, they're 1 of 1 today on 3rd down, and they're looking to keep that streak going. Of course, the opening drives, Carson, of any game, right, you game plan all week long. And in the case of San Angelo Lakeview, they had their bye week. They've been game planning for 2 weeks now on this opening drive. And as an offense, you want to see yourself have an efficient drive and do something here.
Well, and you can really base a game off of each team's first drive. Because no matter how it goes, whether you have a good defensive stand or your offense just goes and balls out, that really kind of sets a tone for your team for the rest of the game.
Chavez is going to be tackled by his feet there, feeling some pressure, evading some pressure in the pocket. Gained a few on the play, but it's going to be 4th down and 8. And you got to think where they are in the field, Carson. They're going for it here.
Well, and you got to, if you're Lakeview, I think you really have to make sure that, by all means, what happened last year doesn't happen again. Because you know that's their main focus right now.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, and a lot of those guys, you know, in the offseason, you see the score from last year's game. And when you're working out all offseason long, you think about those things. Great point. Chavez looking to his right, trying to go over the top, and it's going to be intercepted. Oh, in and out of the hands of Antonio Willis. He had one hand on it, and it would have been quite an impressive grab if he was able to haul it in, but it falls incomplete.
Man, I almost thought he got that. That was such a great effort right there.
Here's your instant replay. That was a 4th down, so it's going to be a turnover on downs. See Chavez trying to go over the top. Antonio Willis showing his great athletic ability. He had an interception last week, played huge against Big Spring, and the defense stands tall there.
You know what that catch almost reminded me of, or almost catch reminds me of?
Who's that?
The Odell catch from 2016.
Oh, man, that's against my Cowboys, too. All right, 1st and 10. The first drive of the game, it's Bozeman in between the tackles. He's as quick as a hiccup. Coach Blaylock said it, and he has a chance to go all the way. 20, 10, James Bozeman, 70-yard touchdown run. For number 6, give him 6.
And just like that, they got their first lead of the ball game.
That was a great run right there. He went in between the tackles, bounced it outside, and took it the distance. The Matadors, within a matter of seconds, get some points on the board.
And it's like I was just saying earlier, the first drive really sets a tone for how the rest of the game's going to go. Now we see that Estacado has a lot of momentum. Had the 4th down stop. Had even, heck, the 3rd down stop and got a one-play rushing touchdown. Nothing feels better than that.
Nothing. Here's your extra point opportunity. I believe that's Luis Gomez out there. Let's make it a 7-point ball game. The extra point, up and good. The Matadors and Coach Blaylock get on the board with a James Bozeman 70-yard touchdown run. And you see some of these guys down here having fun, Carson, and that's what you want to see from a team.
That's really the biggest thing about sports is that, like, yeah, as you get older, you're trying to get to the next level. But the key is to make sure you're still having fun. Because if you're not having fun, you're not enjoying it. And when you don't enjoy it, well,
yeah,
you're just not going to play your best.
I say all the time, a key to life's having fun.
Yeah.
Enjoying what you're doing. We're enjoying what we're doing up here, and we thank everybody for tuning in tonight here on YouTube. Of course, make sure you subscribe and like and share it. Because we say it every game, Carson, but we live in a world where they want you to pay for streams or it's a fake link, and this is real, man.
It is, and it is. And I'm going to be honest, nothing beats free sports.
Nothing. As a sports junkie, right? Nothing beats it.
Man, I could watch sports all day.
So if you're an Estacado Matador fan or just a generic fan of football, you know about the Ross brothers with this Estacado team, and you're thinking, wow, James Bozeman was the running back on that play that made that great run. There's 4 different running backs for this team. Of course, Bobby Ross he's back and he's healthy. He played a few snaps against Brownwood and bounced back with over 100 yards against Big Spring. Do we see number 22 tonight?
We didn't see a lot of him in their last game.
Yeah, against Brownwood. And it's one of those things too. You see NFL running backs, right? They're the when that ball was dropped and recovered there at the 18-yard line, right? They talk about the tread on the tires with the running back, right? I've heard, if you're Coach Blaylock and company, you want to make sure that your running backs have tread on the tire come postseason play, right? Because they're already the 2 seed. They're going to go in as the 2 seed. And so maybe they're thinking big picture playoffs.
Well, and that's the thing with having depth is that you always want to make sure that the next man up is healthy, but they're also ready. And that way, if you take a hit like Estacado has with Bobby Ross, the next guy's ready.
When he was banged up a little bit,
When he was
right?
banged up, yes.
Yep.
But now, just keeping the next man going and like you said, keeping the wheels fresh.
Yeah, Bozeman showed, he is a great running back right there on that last play. Estacado looking to bring pressure, but it's going to be a false start. The Chiefs were a little jumpy right there, and we're going to hear from our official again.
Prior to the play, false start. Offense, number 70, 5-yard penalty. First down.
Okay, so on the second drive tonight, not starting the way Lakeview would want it to, backing them up 5 yards.
And now you're starting to face a little bit of adversity. You might be second drive jitters.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just mentioned, Estacado scored in a matter of one play, had a 3rd and 4th down stop to set it up.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're almost wondering if pressure's getting to them a little bit.
Trying to go over the top, Antonio Willis one-on-one, and he picks it off at the 38-yard line. Antonio Willis comes away with it, and he'll be tackled at the hash mark at the 32.
Man, he got up there.
He did. There is a flag on the play on that far side. Here's your instant replay. You see them trying to go over the top, and they're attacking Antonio Willis. That's what they did moments ago. So maybe it was a free play. Maybe that's what Chavez saw, and we didn't quite see it. It was an offsides penalty going to go against Estacado. So the ball will stay with San Angelo Lakeview right there, and maybe that's what we were missing that Chavez saw was free play going for it.
Well, and I saw that on this near side there was a hard jab trying to kind of pressure the quarterback pre-snap, maybe try to get a false start, but I never saw the flag come in.
Yeah, it was on that far side. On that far side. Here's your instant replay of that last play. Great blocking and great way to follow your blockers right there for Cortez. Brings up 2nd down and 5 now.
Well, and every play just starts with the offensive line.
Yeah.
And normally everybody's going to say, oh, no, it starts with the quarterback. Well, you got to think, the ball starts at the center. Mm-hmm. And so, therefore, your pass blocks, your run blocks, they're all the offensive line and the holes that they can create. We saw it earlier with that long rushing touchdown by Estacado. It was the blocks that set him up.
So this season, San Angelo Lakeview's had kind of a 2-quarterback system going on. Of course, they're going to have one here tonight. And when you look at the Chiefs, when they faced the Westerners, they had Perez and Chavez splitting time. They loved the way it looked because both guys brought something different to the offense. Of course, we're only going to see Chavez here tonight. It's 3rd down and 1 here. Those 2-quarterback systems, though, right? They're kind of tricky because a lot of times you're trying to get a quarterback out there, set the momentum, and get something going with that certain quarterback. But when you strike success, you run with it.
Well, and normally what I see a lot of times with 2-quarterback systems is that one is more mobile than the other, and the other one is a better passer, more of a pocket passer than the other
passer.
one.
Yep.
And you normally you sometimes see it in high school where they're 2 similar archetype players. But at the same time, I think you also just want to have those 2 completely different players
styles,
because then you can have more freedom with your offense.
You see the coaches for San Angelo Lakeview calling the play out. It is 4th down and 1 from their 27-yard line, and from what it looks, they're going for it.
And why would you not?
Well, that's what they're going to go. Yep, free play. They're going to get the 1st down. Falls incomplete. The hard count got Estacado right there. Penalties have been adding up for this Estacado team. Right?
Is
They
incomplete
struggled with it
intended for
against
Wyatt
Brownwood.
Henry, but there
Had
is a
some
flag
issues
on the
with it against
play.
Big Spring. This is something that this team doesn't want to see get going here tonight.
Defense number 90, 5-yard penalty. Result of the play, automatic first down.
Automatic first down. See, that was a 4th down and 1, Carson, and that penalty cost them, and it's going to keep the Chiefs out there on the field.
It did, and that has to make the Chiefs feel good. Maybe they are starting to think, hey, as long as we can keep them on their toes, keep them jumpy, then good things will go their way. I preach about it all the time, small victories.
Small victories.
You knew it was coming.
It wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. Love it. Of course, the Chiefs this season, they started out the year beating La Mesa, the Golden Tours, at La Mesa. They climbed the mountaintop and were able to get a big win, but have been trying to climb that mountaintop ever since. See if they want to do it here tonight, especially because, like we said, this is kind of like their playoff game. First down and 10 carry goes nowhere for Cortez.
Well, and if you're Lakeview, you know how good the team is on the opposite sidelines. You just said it. This is their playoffs, and there is no reason why they shouldn't go 100 and not 10, but 150% to win this game.
This is one of those games where you're flying every play. You're pinning your ears back because you're going.
And this is almost a game that reminds me of, all right, we're going to try something new. We're gonna try some new things. We're gonna stick to our original offense and our original defense, but we're gonna try something new.
Chavez feeling some pressure and evading it, throwing it downfield into some double coverage, but it's caught.
Wow.
That's gonna be a first down in Estacado territory. On the reception for San Angelo Lakeview was Braden Packard.
And Packard just climbed the ladder right there.
Or was that Cortez? Looks like Cortez. I apologize there.
Well, Cortez, man.
That was Packard. I do. You know what?
Anyways, he climbed the ladder. He got up there, throwing over 2 defenders. That is great ball placement.
Yeah, that was Packard right there. Great ball placement, great catch, because he had an Estacado Matador right in front of him. So here we are, 1st and 10 from the 42. They're in Matador territory for the second time tonight, and on the handoff, getting rocked at the line of scrimmage. Swarming in and making the play, Mekhi Williams. That's got to be an all-time great football name right there in Mekhi Williams.
Man, I went to middle school with him, too. It's good to know that I got some friends on the football field tonight.
That's awesome. Of course, you're looking at Nate Orta right there. He's one of the captains on this team, and he's been a big-time playmaker for multiple years for the Estacado Matadors.
When you're talking about tackles, he's the second team leader in total tackles, and he has 78 on the year. He's just trying to make that number even higher. And he's also played in all 9 games, so if he keeps that trend going, stays healthy, that number could maybe reach in the hundreds.
That'd be outstanding for him as a senior. You know, coming into this season, Nate Orta, number 0 there on your screen for Estacado, he approached me about getting some game film. He wants to be able to have a chance to go play in that next level, and if you're putting numbers up like that, you got a shot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 10 now as we approach 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Lakeview getting some movement down the field, had a big pass there to Packard to get them here to this part in the field.
Now you almost think that they're going to try to go back deep because that's been open for them 2 plays already.
Feeling some pressure, stiff-arming a guy, but not able to get away from Keyshawn Harris. Great tackle there by the senior, swallowing him up and taking him down.
Just great pursuit by the entire Estacado defense, breaking through the pass blocks and just immediately rushing the quarterback.
And Harris there keeping his feet churning, not allowing a stiff arm or anything like that to get him, not getting the sack right there on that play. So 4th down and 18, and the punt team's out for the first time tonight for Lakeview. And if you're Lakeview, you don't want to give the ball back to Estacado very quick because they showed, and a bad snap. The ball is loose. Estacado has a chance. Lakeview just dives on it and does the right thing right there because if the Matadors had a chance, they would have been a scoop and score. But Isaac Monreal was the one that jumped on it. And a great prime field position again for Estacado.
But if it wasn't for him jumping on it, man, Estacado was there. They were taking the approach, I'm going to pick this up and run. And why wouldn't you? You have nothing to lose by doing that. But if it wasn't for Monreal just getting on the ball, diving on it, it would have been a scoop and score.
Scoop and score. So on their Lakeview's first 2 drives, it was an interception and a punt. And Estacado, of course, on their first drive was a 70-yard touchdown run by James Bozeman. Going to the air is Estacado. Getting a receiver out in the flats there and getting pushed out of bounds. On the reception was William Blaylock II.
Well, and that's just a great read right there by the quarterback because he is in wide open territory, yards and yards of green grass all around him. Just a great decision.
DJ Johnson has grown a lot as a quarterback over his tenure. 1st and 10, now 30 seconds to go. Johnson going to hand the ball off to Cedric Ross. As he cuts back in, continues to power forward. He'll be tackled inside the 5-yard line, right around the 4.
And Cedric Ross has actually stepped up big time this year, running the ball. He has 376 yards, but also he plays a big role in the receiving game with 447 on the year.
Yeah, he is your dual threat guy, running the ball, catching the ball, doing all the different things, because if you get him in open space, adios amigo, he's going to score. 7-0 after 1 quarter here, and it's the Matadors driving down the field. Can they punch it in? We're going to have to wait and see. Second quarter action coming your way, presented by Lubbock ISD TV.
Hello, my name is Henry.
My name is Angelo.
My name is Lily.
I am one of the many Lubbock ISD TV students learning professional broadcast skills right now.
We have the opportunity to work with professional equipment during our high school sports coverage.
Learning skills that have allowed many of our students to work college sporting events with professional networks.
If you appreciate our coverage, we hope you'll consider one of our sponsorship opportunities.
Your support will help our program continue to grow, providing funds that allow us to learn using the latest broadcast and streaming technologies.
If you'd like to support us,
Contact Kenneth Dixon with the information on your screen.
and
Thank you for watching.
Hello, my name is Nevaeh.
Hello, my name is Isaac.
Hello, my name is Abby.
And I'm one of the many Lubbock ISD TV students bringing you tonight's live stream.
If you appreciate our coverage, we hope you'll consider one of our sponsorship opportunities.
Your support gives us the opportunity to travel to state and national competitions,
where we represent our entire district in audio and video production contests.
Last season, our students received multiple awards in Skills USA and the Student Television Network.
If you'd like to support us, contact Kenneth Dixon with the information on your screen.
And thank you for watching.
All right, we're back. Second quarter action coming your way. It's DJ Johnson with James Bozeman to his right. Trips here on this close side. Can they go 2 for 2 on their first offensive drives? It's a pass, and it's caught. Touchdown, Matadors on the reception. DeVorier Boyd. And before we have a chance to change our graphic to our game graphic, they're on the board.
And he just made that 6 receiving touchdowns on the year go up to 7.
All right, so now they are 2 for 2. What a great start of this game for the Estacado Matadors. Efficiently driving down the field, right? 1 play touchdown. I believe that was only 3 plays on that drive, correct, Carson?
I believe so.
That was 3. Just got to confirm. Shout out to Hub City Preps. They always do a great job covering all of our local schools. So the extra point for the Matadors. Up and good. And that's Luis Gomez putting it through. Carson, I'm going to get sentimental again. It's our last broadcast of the year. We did a total of 18 broadcasts this season. 10 of them on YouTube, 8 of them after last night. Made it 8 on Fox 34 News Now. It's been so much fun bringing everyone these games this season, and growing our channel has been fun to see too.
It's been a complete pleasure of mine to be a part of this program, and I can't thank everybody that's associated with Lubbock ISD TV for giving us the chances that they are, because without them, we really wouldn't be here.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to all of our seniors that are in our program that, they started as sophomores. You started as a sophomore, and y'all have grown and gotten better year in and year out. And something tells me, because, we're not in the truck, we can't see who's all in the truck, but something tells me that our seniors are in there taking charge and operating things in there. Yep, our producer just said they are. You love to hear it.
We love to hear it.
Yeah, so shout out to our amazing seniors and, of course, all of our students that are out here working tonight, because without everybody, we wouldn't be on the air tonight. So here we are. Here's the kickoff team. Luis Gomez is going to be the one sending this one the other way. Again, Estacado off to a great start. They're 2 for 2 on their offensive drives tonight.
And just playing very sound football. Obviously, the first drive, one play, long run.
Long run.
Next drive, 3 plays, big plays.
Right. Bozeman flying in on the special teams, playing running back and playing some special teams. They'll start their drive at the 20-yard line. So looking at the district for this district, Brownwood did win the district championship. They were 4-0 in district play, ended the season 9-1 overall, state ranked. They are a great squad. Estacado finishes second in District 2 4A Division 1 with a record of 2-1. Tonight, if they win, they would improve to 3-1. 7-2 currently on the season. To round it out, Andrews, Big Spring, and then San Angelo, Lakeview in the District 2 4A Division 1 standings. This is a tough district. A week in, week out battle. When you have Brownwood, Estacado, Andrews, Big Spring, and San Angelo, Lakeview, right? Every week's a challenge.
Receiving
and
team
that's
number 21.
The
10-yard
meat and
penalty.
potatoes of district. You know, district is supposed to be a challenging time. That's why we saw, like, with Coronado, when they were playing those really tough non-district matches before district play, that was setting them up for the tornado that is district because they know how big it is. Same thing with Estacado. And especially San Angelo, Lakeview, trying to just they have them having such a hard district to play in. Man,
it's a grind.
It is a grind.
It is a grind. So here comes Lakeview for the third time tonight. On their first drive, it was an interception, and their second one was a punt. Both times they got deep in Matador territory, and it's a screen pass here, and Estacado read it like a book. It's going to be a loss on the play. That's great stuff there by that Estacado defense. You know, when you see those offensive linemen peel out like that, you want to go hit the quarterback because you see it. But then the smart defensive player there dropped back and made the play.
Well, normally with screenplays, you have all 5 or it's most of the times 4 defensive line crashing the quarterback. In this case, it was just Keyshawn Harris going and
I think
rushing the quarterback.
That was number 52, Isaiah Belgara, on the tackle right there. And you saw that on that instant replay. He made a great swim move to get past that guard and find that seam between the tackle and the guard and make the open tackle. Oh, and there's another big play on defense. This Matador defense is bringing it tonight. On that stop was Mekhi Williams. They are coming and flying off the line of scrimmage tonight, Carson, and they're bringing their A game.
They are.
Here's your instant replay of that play. Mekhi Williams gets there untouched. You see the tackle pulling right there, trying to lead block for him, but you got to account for the team speed that Estacado has. They are so fast and so lightning quick off that line of scrimmage. So 3rd down and 16 now. They're standing in their blue turf. And a timeout on the field. Lakeview calls it here. So this is a UMC Children's Hospital timeout. As the first pediatric hospital in the region, UMC Children's Hospital has led the way in providing state-of-the-art care and comprehensive services for children. And because we are teaching the Hospital of Texas Tech University School of Medicine, UMC has over 30 pediatric specialists on staff. Thank you, UMC Children's, for sponsoring our timeouts this season. Looking at some of the stats from the first quarter. Thank you to our stat crew at LISD here at Lowry Field at Plains Capital Park. Of course, these are through the first quarter. Estacado scored early in the second quarter, and so these are kind of rough numbers right here. But total yards and total offensive plays, Estacado, 3 offensive plays, 90 yards. That is 30 yards a play, Carson.
And that's just surreal. That really is. I mean, when you're producing at that high of a level, it doesn't get better than that.
No, that is 30 yards per play. That is a stat right there. Of course, 2 of those were rushing. It was two rushes for 77 yards and 1 pass for 13. Of course, those are numbers through the first quarter. Lakeview on offense this season. They like to run screen passes and reverses, but will go for home run plays on any plays. Of course, we've seen it tonight. Chavez can throw the ball and can extend plays with his feet. Look for him to try to make a big play here. Trying to go over the top. It's picked off. DeVorier, Boyd takes it. He's going to dive for the pylon. He's in! Touchdown, DeVorier Boyd. It's the second time tonight he scores. That's a pick six.
And that's what we call a lurk. At least that's what they do in Madden.
Right.
But just great awareness on where the ball is, timing it when it's going to be there, getting a great jump in front of the ball, or in front of the receiver, excuse me, and just taking it back for 6.
Yep, it's the coaches talk about it all the time. Read your keys, read the quarterback's eyes, and DeVorier Boyd showing that he has some exceptional talent over there, not only on offense. He is one of the top targets on offense, right? But on defense as well. A unique extra point opportunity here. One-on-one matchup to that far corner of the end zone, overthrown, and it'll drop incomplete there. Creativity there on the extra point, Carson.
Well, and they were probably wanted to make Lakeview assume that it was going to be an extra point, because we have seen them come out in this weird formation and then move on over into the PAT formation. But instead, they just had one center, one quarterback, and 2 tailbacks, with majority of the rest of the team on the near side of the field.
Right.
Just one-on-one coverage down on the far side.
50-50 ball, 1v1, right?
Why not?
Hey, I want to go, love that instant replay that we showed moments ago of the pick six. Shout out to camera 3 over there. We see you working hard to provide us some really cool angles of the game. Ooh, this has been fun. I don't know about you, Carson, but I've really... I enjoy doing Matador games. They're a great team. They play an exciting brand of football, and we're seeing it here on display tonight.
And they've been playing like this for the past 2 years, really.
Mm-hmm.
They've had a mojo, and they've just continued to build on it and continue to build on it, and that starts with Coach Blaylock.
Yeah. So I'm a stadium junkie, Carson. It's a serious problem of mine. If you go to my YouTube recommended list whenever I'm watching YouTube at home, it's a lot of stadium stuff. So you know me, I did homework on our beautiful stadium here at Plains Capital Park, yeah?
There you go.
There are a capacity of 8,500 seats here at Plains Capital Park at Lowry Field, 70 ADA seats. A total, Carson, of 2.25 miles of aluminum bleacher seating here, and is over 17.5 million pounds of concrete were used to renovate this stadium.
Wow. That's all I can say.
Dude, I was like, whoa, that's really cool. That's a lot of concrete.
That is.
And a lot of aluminum seats, 2.25 miles of aluminum seats.
And it's so weird to see that, you look at a stadium, you see all the seats, but you don't, go into account, the people that laid it, the people and the materials that are put down on it. Mm-hmm. You don't take into account, but then, like you mentioned, the concrete. You have the concrete locker rooms. You have the concrete concession stands. And then you have the foundations that they're built on because they're on a little hill.
Right.
Both sides.
Both sides. It's an impressive place here. And we know we some of the San Angelo Lakeview broadcast crew, the radio crew, was blown away by our press box. And, sometimes... I don't know. I don't want to say we take it for granted, because this is great. This place is awesome. But then when you hear other teams come in and are blown away by it, you're like, you know what? This place is really, really something special.
It is, and I'm just really glad that all 4 Lubbock ISD schools are able to play at the same field and get the same experiences, because otherwise, playing at their home stadiums, they're a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Their concession stands are most of the time tucked away, and man, this is just a completely different atmosphere.
Here comes San Angelo Lakeview. They want to get something going here. Estacado has other plans, though. Tackling out of bounds and crawling like Micah Parsons right there after making the tackle was Delton Johnson. You've seen him do those crawls after getting a sack. I think that's what Johnson was going for right there.
Man, he knew he wanted to do it as soon as he read that ball.
Here's your instant replay of it. I want to see him do it. Gets him down and then does the Micah Parsons crawl. That's awesome.
Cracks me up.
So it's 3rd down and 6. 9:16 to go here in the first half. See the Chiefs there with the ball on offense. They're really good at trying to get the teams to jump off sides, and they're going to blow the play dead. Let's hear from our official.
21, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 11 now with 9:16 to go still. I'm interested in knowing, like, total penalties by the end of the game, right? Because this is something that both teams want to focus on, right? Dirty laundry is something that you don't ever want to see.
Well, and that's normally one of the big focuses for any team before a game is just controlling the penalties, controlling the controllables.
Yep, controlling the controllables was what I was going to say. You see the tackle right there for Estacado. It's going to be 4th down now. Great open field tackle by Luis Gomez right there, the kicker, as well as one of the defensive backs for the Matadors. They're just trying to get their playmakers in space, Carson, but Estacado, they got playmakers on both sides of the ball, and they had no chance there.
They are, but now you almost wonder, when do we need to start switching things up on offense and start taking some shots? Because
if you're Lakeview is what you're thinking?
Yes, because you're getting the ball into space, into your getting the ball into your playmakers in space. Sorry, excuse me. But obviously Estacado is swarming that, and it's swarming it so fast. So now you're almost wondering, okay.
On another bad snap on the punt, Estacado once again just prime field position. They're going to get the ball at the 9-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal.
Man, I think that's going to be another big key when you're talking about penalties at the end of the game. I think turnovers are going to be another big part of the game.
Well, and that was actually a decent snap right there. It was just bobbled by Isaiah Rios. You see him there. He's frustrated. Went in and out of his hands, and the Matadors, it's 1st and goal.
Well, and Lakeview knows that you can't give the ball at this position in the field to this high caliber of an offense.
Right. Here we are, DJ Johnson. There'll be a handoff. Hitting the corner. Give him 6. That's Bobby Ross scoring.
There is a penalty in the back of the end zone, though.
I think that's Ross's first carry tonight, and he hits the pay dirt. We're going to hear from our officiating crew. That flag came in on the back of the end zone right there. We're going to hear from our crew.
12 on the defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
All right, so the Bobby Ross 9-yard touchdown run's going to count, and the Matadors extend their lead. It's now 26-0. Matadors 3 for 3 tonight when they have the ball. Of course, the other score was the pick 6.
And now we're starting to see that same formation that we did earlier when they went for 2. But this one looks like it's going to be a PAT instead.
Yes, the make you think something else is going to happen, and they'll run real quick and line up for the extra point with Luis Gomez. Extra point, up and good. Matadors, they're looking to run away with it tonight as they're up 27-0.
Well, in this game, it really is starting to look like it has blowout written all over it. But you know Lakeview is still going to fight for every inch that they can get. They're not going to make this game easy for Estacado.
Not at all. Not at all. But I have some stats for you, Carson. You ready for this? Teams that shine against Lakeview, when you look at the numbers, I say it week in, week out, numbers don't lie. They don't lie, right, Carson?
They don't.
Teams that have the most success against Lakeview run the ball. The Chiefs give up, on average, 428. Scratch that. They gave up 428 against Big Spring. On average, they give up 530. So if you run the ball, you have a lot of success, and that's what the Matadors do. They got a triple-headed monster that run the football, and so this is, strength versus strength. Estacado has that strength there.
Well, and if you're Estacado, you're averaging 292 rushing yards per game.
Yeah.
That is absurd because you're also averaging 130 pass yards per game, which leads you to 422 total yards per game. So if you're Lakeview, how do you combat that?
You got to show up, man, and you got to fill your gaps. You got to play great defense. You got to fly around, play your keys, keep your outside containment. I can give you all the coach lingo, man. You just got to play great.
You got to play your best ball.
Yeah. Especially a team like Estacado where they're just on offense. They have so many weapons, and I'm excited to see what they do in the postseason. That ball's bobbled at the 5-yard line, but picked up by Lakeview, trying to hit the corner and pushed out of bounds at the 17-yard line. That's where they'll start their 4th drive of this game. Time of possession is something that a lot of people look at tonight when we're going to get our numbers come halftime, Carson. time of possession is going to be 90% Lakeview, 10% Estacado, but the scoreboard's going to say something different.
And normally you would think that the more you hold the ball, the longer the time of possession is, the score reflects that. That's normally how the game goes. But obviously it's been big play after big play after big play for Estacado, but it's also been unfortunate mistakes on Lakeview's part. You had the muff punt that landed on the 12-yard line that led to a score. You had the other opportunities where Estacado got it on the 30-yard line.
We talked with Coach pregame, and there's a fumble on the play. Estacado trying to dive on it, but I think Chavez was able to recapture the ball right there. We do have a new quarterback in the game for San Angelo Lakeview, and that's Austin Perez. We talked about the 2 quarterback look, and here's Perez here tonight.
Well, and Perez this year, he's only played in 5 games, but he's 45 for 71 on passing attempts. He has 632 yards. He's averaging 14 yards per completion, and he has an average of 158 yards per game. He has 8 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. But one of the big things I want to highlight is his quarterback rating.
I like that.
100.2. That's actually really good.
That's actually really good. That is really good. So Perez is in at the game. Feeling some pressure, trying to evade the pressure, but he's going to get sacked on the play. He'll be tackled at the 4-yard line. This Estacado defense is not letting Lakeview do anything tonight. Carson, I want to go back to what you were talking about right there. This is why you are so good at what you do, man. You are so prepared. You know numbers on every guy, man. That is impressive.
I try. I really try.
That is impressive, man. You had numbers waiting on him.
I did.
Here's your instant replay of the sack right there. It's instant pressure. And going to get credit with the sack is Mekhi Williams. He's had multiple sacks tonight. Number 8's got to be feeling good about how he's playing. 3rd down and 23. Perez feeling some pressure. Throwing it on the run. A high arcing pass. 1v1 and over the top. It's caught. Breakaway speed right here. Got Antonio Willis to beat, and he'll walk out of bounds at the 40-yard line. With the reception for San Angelo Lakeview was Wyatt Henry.
Man, if you're Lakeview, especially if you're Austin Perez, you're almost getting deja vu right there with how the defender was leaping up, trying to get that interception, but the ball was just high enough for the receiver to get it.
That was Cedric Ross there trying, and we talk about that all the time. When you try to go over the top like that as a defender, you're either hitting a home run and you're striking out, and for Lakeview, they hit the home run as Mekhi Williams gets another sack on the play. Perez, he had nothing going there as Williams was all over him.
Well, and you can tell that was a play action because they wanted to draw. Normally whenever you get a big play, you combat that with the run. It's complementary. It's hand in hand, But tried to draw him with the play action, draw him to the running back, but Estacado wasn't fooled.
No, he wasn't, and there's going to be another pre-snap penalty. We're going to hear from our head official again. Of course, our head official tonight is Chase Shigurik.
Offense, number 21, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
All right, it's going to back them up 5. The hard counts, right? They're trying to get Estacado to jump off sides, but the hard count is actually messing with the Lakeview Chiefs tonight.
And it's really hard to mess or to concentrate with hard counts because you have to factor in.
Oh, great pass, splitting the safeties right there. Ball is loose. It's really close to the line of gain. It was a 2nd down and 19. They're going to get 20 yards on that reception right there. That was a great pass right there, splitting the safeties and hitting Braden Packard.
Just a great read. That's really all it was, is a great read, getting the ball into space.
And you see here on this instant replay, it hit him right on those hash marks too right there, and Coach William Blaylock wanted to talk this one over with his team. Of course, all of our timeouts this season are presented by UMC Children's Hospital. University Medical Center employs more than 4,900 employees, and at UMC Children's Hospital, you will see our commitment and feel our healing promise each and every visit, because UMC, our passion is you. Well, Carson, this has been a really one-sided game, but if you're a Chiefs fan, you're liking this, right? You're getting big chunk plays down the field. You're getting some help penalty-wise, right? And you're taking advantage of what the team has given you on the defensive side of the ball.
When you're starting to see the rhythm kind of start falling into, like, piece by piece, falling together, because You've hit the passes that have been wide open. You've gotten the ball into your playmakers in space. For the most part, Estacado's been containing it, but on those plays that they're not, they're the big plays.
They're the big plays. On 1st and 10, it's going to be a carry, gain of a handful on that play. Asai Salazar is what it looked like down there, but I can't quite see the number. It wasn't Salazar, it was Ian Cortez. You know, in this time of the year, especially as you get deeper and deeper into the playoffs, right, you want to have numbers on your sideline, right? You want to have great numbers with your team. You want to have depth. Depth is so important. And when you look at these two schools and the sidelines, the numbers vary. Estacado, you see a lot of blue jerseys, but if you look on that opposite side of the field, Carson, I don't know if they have a 2 deep on offense and defense. Everybody's getting reps. Trying to go over the top is Perez, 1v1, and overthrown, falls incomplete. You see what I'm saying over there? If you look to that far side, San Angelo Lakeview, I could probably count them out real quick and feel confident that I got the right number. I think there's 15 over there.
I'm assuming that your number is right. I'm not going to count, but the fact of the matter is, especially with football, is that depth is probably one of the biggest aspects outside of the game.
Yep.
The more depth you have, the more comfortable as a coach and a player that you are.
All right, so my number was wrong. I now count 17. But still, with the 11 on the field plus the 17 on that far sideline, that equals 28. And at the 4A Division II level, you need to have some numbers in 28s, right, on the lower end. And so that's just something, an aspect of the game that you notice as you're watching.
Well, and we've seen it a lot with some of these Lubbock ISD teams. I think Estacado was one of them, switching out running backs, and they had 3 different running backs.
Yeah.
And they were just rotating them in, getting them equal reps, keeping every single one fresh. And it's just, that's an example of the biggest part that depth can play in a football game.
It allows you to flex your muscle a little bit, and then also at the same time rest your guys. Timeout by the Chiefs on this 4th and 5. They want to make sure they punch this one in right here. Of course, this is another UMC Children's Hospital timeout. Carson, I got more stadium facts. You ready for it?
Let's hear it.
Lowry Field, built in 1961 at a cost of $575,000. Lowry Field was named after former Lubbock ISD teacher and athletic business manager E.J. Pinky Lowry. I saw a picture of Pinky Lowry at Lubbock High the other day whenever I was over there on their campus. Of course, in 2013, the district revealed an $18 million renovation that features this brand new press box that we're sitting in, the field house facilities on the north side, and of course the new concession stands and restrooms. Lubbock ISD has one of the finest facilities in the state of Texas here at Lowry Field at Plains Capital Park. And our awesome producer, Emma Feist, says we have a picture of our crew here tonight. Let's take a look at them as Estacado looking to make a quick stop here on defense. Here's our awesome crew, all students bringing you this game here tonight. Only student that's not in that picture is Carson. But what a great crew right there. We got an awesome crew here working tonight.
Yes, we do. And I can't wait to see how this game is going to turn out for them, because this is going to be something that they can add to their resume.
Absolutely. There's a sack on the play, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. No, absolutely. This is something that they can add to their resume, right? Working live TV is something that you would definitely put on your resume, right?
Well, and the thing that is the most important about working these games is that you just have to keep doing it.
Yep.
The more you work, the more experience you're going to get, and thus leading to you being a better cameraman or maybe an audio engineer. Like I know Caleb wants to be an audio engineer.
Yeah.
It's just the more reps you get at it, it's like a sport.
Iron sharpens iron. If you're out there doing it, you're going to get better. You're going to get sharper, right?
Exactly.
I need you to go tell all of our students that, right? So that we can get everybody here. That'd be really awesome.
Yeah. All right.
1st and 10. Great cut. Bobby Ross dancing and bobbing and weaving, showing why he's a D1 prospect, getting tackled at the 49-yard line. Great run right there by Bobby Ross. He's impressive.
And he has been all year.
I think that's a 23-yard run, and he had to work for every bit of it, bobbing and weaving his way through traffic, yards after contact. He is impressive.
And we've said it time and time again, yards after contact is a stat that gets often overlooked, but it's so important to the game.
Yep. Going to the air is Blaylock. Across the middle. Caught! That's DJ Johnson, the quarterback playing receiver, and he's going to scamper in for the score.
Wow.
Give him 6. That's a 50-yard touchdown pass. And the Matadors are up 33-0.
A little trickeration by Estacado. You love to see it.
Yeah, and Blaylock, what a pretty ball there by William Blaylock II to hit his other quarterback in stride for the touchdown pass.
Well, he has his position labeled as quarterback / athlete. He just put that on display right now.
Yeah, he's played some receiver this season. I remember calling a touchdown reception for William Blaylock II. That time, he adds a stat into the passing column for a passing touchdown. So the extra point opportunity for Luis Gomez. High snap, but the holder gathered it in, and the extra point's up and good. So it's 34-0 now. Matadors on top. Here's your instant replay of it. You know what they did? What Lakeview did? They split the safeties right there. And Johnson making a great cut to bounce it outside, and he scores. We talk about weapons. We're seeing more and more of them being used tonight by Estacado.
We are, and man, that's just the perfect read. You love when you're a quarterback, you love seeing that just area of green grass right all around your target, and when you can get that ball there without anybody crashing that area, you know it's going to be a big play. And if you're quarterback, that's making you grin ear to ear.
Yeah, I'm grinning ear to ear watching it. So let's talk about some of the standings from our other districts here within Lubbock ISD. Of course, we have two teams in District 2 5A Division 1, and that's Monterey and Coronado. Both teams lost last night, and unfortunately, it ended their season. Of course, Monterey ends the season 4-6. They were 2-4 in district play. Coronado ends the season 2-8. But here's your look at 4A1. Of course, Estacado will end the season as the 2 seed. They will play in the playoffs. They will be in the by-district round next week. You see Lakeview at the very bottom right there. They will be on the outside looking in. Tonight is their playoff game, as we alluded to at the beginning of the broadcast. First time tonight, received right there and tackled at the 11-yard line. You know, special teams has not been a strength tonight for the Chiefs, is what I was kind of alluding to. They have been struggling catching the ball on the receiving end, and you see them haul it in right there.
Well, and now if you're Lakeview, you're just trying to get a first down, just trying to get as little momentum or as much momentum as you can with the little plays.
Well, I don't know. They've been hitting the big plays
They
tonight.
have been. It's just unfortunate that nothing has been showing on the scoreboard.
On the scoreboard, yeah. They've had a lot of little wins, as Carson would say, but they want the big one, and that's putting points on the board. And that's going to be a false start. A lot of movement before that ball was snapped. We're going to hear from our head official tonight. You know, Estacado's
false start, offense. Everybody but the center. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
You love to hear everyone but the center, right? That's always fun to listen to. You know, Estacado, right? We talked about it. A big focus for them is limiting the dirty laundry. And last week against Big Spring, the Matadors had 12 penalties. One of the assistant coaches told us it was north of 170 yards. And the Brownfield game before that was very similar. And they want to make sure that they focus on penalties, as that was blocked down there at the line of scrimmage. Makai Williams soaring through the air. He continues to have a big night. But tonight, going back to the penalties, it really hasn't been the Matadors struggling in that part of the game. It's been the Chiefs.
It has, and we always say that penalties kill, and they do.
They do.
Because you could be driving all the way down the field, but then next thing you know, holding penalties sets you 10 yards back. That's just going to stall your momentum.
Oh, Makai Williams sacks him right there. He fumbles the ball and recovered by Keyshawn Harris. Touchdown, Matadors. Perez gets rocked. And Keyshawn Harris is there for the scoop and score.
Can I just make a note of the game that Makai Williams is playing right now?
If he's not your player of the game, man, you got to how many sacks is that tonight? And that forced fumble, the scoop and score. The Matadors are doing everything right tonight.
Well, and that's for sure 3, but I'm pretty sure it's even more. But when you're...
Oh, I think he's north of 3. I think he's got to be at 5 sacks tonight.
Well, that's definitely 3 that I can count. Let me put it that way. But still, that's more than their season average this year. They're only averaging 1.4, and one man alone has at least 3.
At least. Here's your extra point. Up and good. So Coach Blaylock wanted to see turnovers. He's now had 2 turnovers tonight, the scoop and score, and then the pick 6. You see here on the instant replay, Perez just losing the ball right there. He was looking downfield. And when you play a team like Estacado, Carson, you got to have a mental timer because you know this defense flies around and will get to you.
Well, and like you just said, they fly around. They go coast to coast, but they also play north and south. You know, they're fast, and they're so fast that if you just look down for one more second, you could be on your back.
Ooh, man. Yeah, you see a lot of smiles on that sideline for Estacado. A lot of great things. And then, you know what? And when you're about to go into the playoffs, you want to be peaking at the right time. Coming off of a tough loss a couple weeks back to Brownwood, you bounce back against Big Spring, and you're taking care of business as of right now tonight. You want to be peaking at the right time. Estacado seems to be doing it at the right time.
Well, and with only 2 losses on this season, they're already on pace to do better than they did last season, and when they had a 7-5 record, and they still made the playoffs. So, I mean, this team is just evolving, and it's really impressive to see how they're just constantly getting better week by week, showing why they should be in the playoffs.
So the 2 teams that they lost to this season was West Plains. Of course, that's the new school up in Canyon ISD. That was a 51-34 loss to the Huskies. It was a really close game that night. It was the little details why the Huskies were able to separate themselves in that ball game. Of course, the other loss was Brownwood. That was a 35-14 loss, and that game was tied at halftime. Little details here and there, a few penalties here and there were a big difference in that game. And realistically, Carson, in those kind of games, you could clean those things up. You could be right back in that ball game. And if things line up and Estacado makes a run in the postseason and Brownwood makes a run, there could be a rematch in round 4.
There could, and that's really what Estacado wants. I know if I'm playing.
Oh, great
like that,
pass and catch and breaking away.
Uh-oh.
San Angelo Lakeview might finally hit the pay dirt. No, coming in and swooping from behind to make that tackle. Great speed there by Donovan Torres to catch up to the wide open receiver. On the reception there was Brylan White.
Man, just a great rundown because he had nothing but green grass in front of him, but just got ran down from behind. We just said how fast this Estacado team was, and it was on display right there.
Yeah, Torres coming from behind. They had a great track season last year, and Coach Blaylock preaches that track is important to his team and to the guys. Track pays off in football season, and you're seeing it pay off there. Torres chasing him down. But now once they hit the red zone, they're in the red zone now, the Chiefs are. If you're Estacado, your mindset changes a little bit. Bend, don't break.
And I think if you're Estacado, you're willing, if it comes down to it, you're willing to give up a score because you want to try to get this ball back and into your own end zone. By the end of this first half, I know the clock is ticking with 1:40 left, but heck, you can aim for the stars.
Well, and they showed tonight that they just need one play and they can take it the distance.
Exactly.
A Chief is down on the field right now. And we're going to take the timeout with them. It's a UMC Children's Hospital timeout, and when we come back, the Chiefs are driving down the field. They have a chance to put some points on the board. Can they do it? Got 1:32 to find out. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
My name is Angelo.
My name is Lily.
I am one of the many Lubbock ISD TV students learning professional broadcast skills right now.
We have the opportunity to work with professional equipment during our high school sports coverage.
Learning skills that have allowed many of our students to work college sporting events with professional networks.
If you appreciate our coverage, we hope you'll consider one of our sponsorship opportunities.
Your support will help our program continue to grow, providing funds that allow us to learn using the latest broadcast and streaming technologies.
If you'd like to support us,
Contact Kenneth Dixon with the information on your screen.
And thank you for watching.
Third down play right here, and Estacado gets the stop there. It's going to be 4th down and 3. The San Angelo Lakeview Chief that was down was Misael Rodello. He needed some help getting off the field. He's getting worked on the bench over there. We're sending positive energy his way. But 4th down, and San Angelo Lakeview calls timeout. You see here on this instant replay, it was just a jet sweep, Carson, and the Matadors, Makai Williams in the backfield immediately. Nate Orta cleaning it up. Makai Williams, man, have a day.
He's been impressive, and he has been by far the one that I've been keeping my eye on the most on this Estacado defense, and he was making his presence felt from the moment this game started.
Right. Last year, this game, the Matadors took advantage of the Chiefs' turnover problems, and in fact, they had 7 defensive touchdowns off of turnovers last year, or multiple defensive touchdowns off of forced turnovers. They had 7 total turnovers in that game, and right now they're on pace to match that tonight with the turnovers that they're forcing. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight on the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel. We've been growing this channel ever since the Monterey girls basketball run, realistically, last year. We had 9,000 people watching that Amarillo High game. Carson was on the headset that night, and we've seen a solid growth ever since then on this channel.
We have, and it's been really fun just to stream on YouTube, just be public.
Oh, and he didn't get the first down. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Carson. It's going to be a turnover on downs. Finish your thought, Carson.
It's just been nice for us to be on a free platform, because why would you want to pay for high school sports? You can just go to YouTube, go to the Lubbock ISD channel, and find us.
And subscribe and
do all
enjoy
the things.
all of it, right? So that's their 6th offensive possession. I want to say 3rd that they've gone deep into Matador territory just to be stalled out and have a turnover on downs. This Estacado defense has tightened things up when they needed to, right? They've been making big plays all night tonight. When Lakeview does have a big chunk play, they've been able to tighten up when they needed to.
Well, and simply put, they've just been playing with their hearts.
Yeah. Another running back in the game for Estacado, this time on the carry. Number 21, Joshua Cubitt. I think I might know Joshua Cubitt. I think I worked with his mom at Channel 11. Her name was Alexis Cubitt. Yeah, he looks a lot like her. That could be. It could be.
The more people you know, right?
Yeah, the more you know. Of course, in at quarterback right now, William Blaylock II. It's his 2nd drive out there tonight playing quarterback. And when you see him out there and you see him running around in the pregame, he looks like a big-time player. A little miscommunication on that play, falls incomplete. I hear we have a sideline report with our awesome sideline reporter, Tristan. Let's see what Tristan has for us in store. Tristan, take it away.
Mr. Ward, Samaya, how do you plan to keep the crowd motivated with the rest of your Palm squad?
To continue dancing and to continue hyping up our football team. So far, so good.
And can you please tell us about your experience in Palm squad?
My experience over all 4 years have been great. Dancing with my teammates, and overall, they just make me happy. So, hey.
All right, back to you, Mr. Ward.
Thanks so much, Tristan. I like these new sideline reports and getting to hear from various people that are involved in the games, because, Carson, there are so many different people that do things to this game that bring high school football and make it so special. Of course, the Palm Squad is one of the great teams that are out here performing tonight as well.
Yeah, you just said it. You have the Palm Squad, you have the Cheer Squad, then you have the band. But then deeper than that, you sometimes have your superintendent coming in and watching the game.
There's a lot of different aspects to this game that make it so special. Cedric Ross on that play, not getting anything, and that's going to do it for the first half. 41-0 is going to be the score through first 2 quarters. Carson, thoughts on the first half, man? It's been all Estacado.
It has been, and, man, they have just been playing complete football. I've been really impressed with their defense. They have been stepping up time and time again, forcing turnovers, forcing 3-and-outs, just setting their offense up in prime position every single time.
All right, so when we come back after this 24-minute halftime, we'll have some more exciting action here at Lowry Field. But until then, we hope you enjoyed the highlights from across Lubbock ISD.
LISD TV will return after this short break.
Welcome to Highlights. I'm Erin Gregg, joined by our production team of Lubbock ISD TV students. Alderson Elementary recently welcomed some special guests. Student athletes from Texas Tech University read with the Eagles as part of their Reading Buddies program. We visited the campus to see how it impacts students.
That's your favorite part? Today we're coming out to Alderson Elementary School.
We're doing Reading Buddies, so we brought down our LDR class, which is a leadership class for freshman student athletes.
But today I got the greens.
So we have 27 men's football today and 2 men's basketball, and we brought them down here to read through K through 5th grade.
We read a couple books, we colored with them. Something about when you find something from a long time ago.
I learned that it's a big bird.
It is such a special experience because, you know, I get to see these guys in the limelight, you know, on the field, on the court, doing the great things, but it's also so special to be able to see them give back and see their smiles because, you know what, like, that's the most important thing here is that not only are they impacting the kids, but also they're having a great time themselves.
My favorite part was coloring, just getting to know the kids a little bit, you know what I'm saying? We got to, like, you know, really interact with them.
We talk about what we play. I play soccer and basketball and football.
My dad showed the coach, he says he gonna be a good, since I'm already tall at 8.
Awesome.
At 9.
Thinking back to when I was a kid and how I acted, it's like a full circle moment. You get to see, you know, that same interaction, that same love, and just genuine curiosity, and just overall pure innocence from the little kids, and it's really fun to see it happen.
One of our 4 pillars that we oversee here is community service. So it's clear that the Lubbock community absolutely adores our student athletes, and we want to instill in them that it's so important to be able to give that love right back to them.
At the end of the day, I hope I just make some kids' day, you know, put a smile on their face. We're a big role model in the community, and so it's always nice to kind of go back and give back to the little kids that look up to us and set a good example for them.
Like inspiration, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times when you're little, you look up to people, and I hope they, you know, got a good sense of like looking up and got a good sense of who we are and what we are as people. Not only me, but all the other football guys and people here giving back today. It's a great opportunity to kind of make a kid smile and make a kid happy.
I hope that they look at them and realize that there's similarities and that no matter what challenges they see, everybody has the potential to go to college, and sport is one of those great ways to do that.
A big thank you.
Thank you.
Julie Wyatt is joining us in studio today. Julie is our principal at the Talkington School for Young Women Leaders, and today we're talking about recruitment. So Julie, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And so folks might have heard about the Talkington School for Young Women Leaders, but they might not know exactly what it is. So tell us a little bit about Talkington for folks who might not know a lot of details about it.
Talkington opened in 2008. We are an all-girls, obviously a public school. We're in Lubbock ISD, serving students in grades 6 through 12. We recruit students from all over the district, and we're excited about our upcoming recruitment. What makes us different is, again, the all-girls atmosphere. We're a college prep school. Most of our courses are all advanced pre-AP, AP courses, and our focus is leveling the playing field for underserved populations. So we target first-generation college-going students.
And you've had great success. Your students are off at Ivy League schools and all kinds of great academic awards, and just recently, for the second time since 2016, a National Blue Ribbon School, which is an incredible honor. Tell us a little bit about that.
So it is just incredible that we are receiving a second Blue Ribbon. We received one in 2016. We have to be nominated by the state to even be on the list, to even be considered for that. So we are one of 29 in Texas to be awarded a Blue Ribbon in 2023. It further validates the work of our students, our community of teachers, and then just the support from our families.
Of course. Well, speaking of the recruitment, this is open house time. Now through December, by mid-December, we have our secondary campuses having open houses where parents and families can come really explore what the options are. And so in addition to the open house, you're also out visiting campuses. So tell us a little bit about how you're out there spreading the word about Talkington.
So we send information to all of our elementary campuses and ask if we can come and visit with their 5th grade girls. So starting last week, we visit every elementary and go to tell our story. So we take students with us, and we hope that they have an understanding. Many times the girls there have not heard of us, and so that is the first opportunity for them to hear about the course offerings that we have. We tell those girls that they are so fortunate to be in Lubbock ISD. Lubbock ISD is filled with opportunities and so many choices for great schools, and that Talkington is one of them. And so we tell our story, we invite them to our open house, and hopefully we'll have a great recruiting season.
Well, it's an exciting time of year as families are making those choices. And for those who, maybe hopefully they'll go to the open house, but just have more questions, where can they get more information about Talkington? Who can they talk to?
They're welcome to call Talkington. We have information on our Talkington website. Our application is on there, so they can get information there. Our open house is on December the 5th. They can come to Talkington December the 5th from 6 to 7:30. Any additional questions, their elementary counselors can answer any questions as well that they may have. They're welcome again to call the campus and ask for me, and I'll be happy to tell them all the great things that are happening.
Well, we're so proud of Talkington, the Lady Warriors, and all that you've been accomplishing. So thank you for just spending a few minutes with us today talking about your campus.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course. Now let's go on location with Sydney Kim.
Hey Erin, we're on location at McKenzie Middle School here for the curbside coffee this morning, and having great time giving coffee to families that are dropping off students for the beginning of school.
Hey, coffee for you?
Y'all are the best. Thank you so much.
There you go. Take care. Today is our quarterly curbside coffee that we like to host for our families. We work with McDonald's on 4th and Slide, and they provide us with coffee for our families. And basically, it's just a chance to connect with them and let them know that we care.
You want some coffee? Oh, yes. How do you love supporting McKenzie Middle School? How do you feel when you do things like this with McKenzie?
Oh, it's wonderful because we really like and enjoy participating in the community, especially with schools. We actually have parents that work at our restaurant that have students in McKenzie. In fact, one of them, I was trying to see if she was going to be here. She was ready for her coffee.
That's awesome. How important is it to make connections like this with families in the community?
Oh, I think it's extremely important. It brings school-parent relationships together, just makes everybody's day happier, and lets the kids know that their parents are involved in school and that we do care about them as a family.
Coffee? Would you like some coffee? Awesome. And how is the response so far this morning?
Obviously, it's a cold morning, so they're excited to get a nice warm cup of coffee in their hands, and all we want to do is just serve them with a smile today. Is it Dreamer? Thank you. Hey, take care.
McKenzie Middle School is one of many schools that do fun things like this for families. We are thankful for having ways to connect with families in the community. Great job, McKenzie Middle School. Back to you, Erin.
We're excited to continue our partnership with the Texas Tech University Presidential Lecture and Performance Series. Phyllis Underwood joins us now to share details on this season. Phyllis?
Dory, welcome. Thanks for coming back.
It's been so long.
We've got some things rocking and rolling already.
The Queen's Cartoonists, they're coming up. They will be here with us November 15th.
Okay.
So they are a 7-piece jazz group coming to us from New York City, from Queens. And what makes them unique is they match up their live jazz music with cartoons that are being projected in the background. So I'm hoping that this will be really fun for students, and we don't typically do shows that are for all ages, but this one's really for everybody. So
great, it's for everybody.
I'm
all
excited
Lubbock
about
ISD students, staff,
and
very unique.
Right, and so it's cartoons from the last 100 years, and we're matching up two great American art forms, really, jazz and animation, and it's golden age, old cartoons, all the way up throughout the decades, all the way up to today. So as you come and watch, you'll be surprised as you'll recognize older stuff and sort of newer things, and it's going to be a little bit interactive and whimsical, and the musicians, they interact with the audience, of course. No pressure. You don't have nobody's going to be called up.
You're not going to be called up. You don't want to sit in the back.
Right. But it's going to be sort of interactive and just fun. And I have a theater background, so I'm so excited to bring something that's a little bit more theater related.
Yeah. Well, tell our viewers about how to get tickets with you, where it's going to be.
November 15th at 7 p.m. as always. It's a 90-minute show, no intermission. It's really all the usual specs. So we're back in the Allen Theater in the Student Union building, which is on campus. It's 1502 Akron Avenue. We offer free parking all around, so just come on by. And tickets are available at presidentialseries.tx. ttu.edu, or you can call up Select a Seat, which hopefully folks are familiar with. The phone number is 770-2000. And also I'm happy to offer 2 complimentary tickets to all full-time Lubbock ISD folks. So find you, you know, there's ways to kind of get a hold of us, and I will be so happy to give out tickets to.
Well, that's the best part for Lubbock ISD, because they're complimentary tickets, and we like to feel the theater. It feels better. There's a lot, like you say, interaction. And we've got other things coming up.
We have 2 spring shows in 2024. One's in February, the Suffers. They are coming from Houston. They're soul, funk, R&B, jazz fusion. They are just energetic, and they will warm us up in February. And then in April, we're going to have a blues show. We're having Angelo back in Lubbock, who's born here actually. She's our true Lubbockite. She made it big in Austin back a couple decades ago, played with Stevie Ray Vaughan and all these wonderful
I did a little
folks.
research on her,
Oh my
because
gosh.
she's called the Lady of Texas Blues, right?
Yes. I mean, she started the Antones Club downtown in Austin. I mean, she's just amazing. And so we're celebrating the 10th Lubbock Lights, which is sort of a local series within the series. We're going to celebrate that with her. So she's going to come back to us from California, and it's going to be so special. So those are the 2 events in the spring.
Dory, always a pleasure to have you out. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Appreciate the partnership.
Thanks.
Thanks, Phyllis. It sounds like a great lineup, and we encourage our Lubbock ISD staff to take advantage of this great partnership. If you would like to become one of our partners, log on to lubbockisd.org/pi or contact Phyllis directly with the information on your screen. And you can check out our past partner stories online at lubbockisdtv.com. Coming up on the calendar, our Board of Trustees meets on Thursday, November 9th. Board meetings start at 7 a.m. and they're held in the boardroom at Central Office. We broadcast our meetings live here on Lubbock ISD TV and stream them live on our Lubbock ISD YouTube channel. Progress reports will also be sent home on the 9th. These are for the first 3 weeks of our second 9-week grading period. And looking ahead, it's hard to believe, but Thanksgiving break is just around the corner. We want to remind our families that Lubbock ISD will not have class on Monday, November 20th through Friday, November 24th. The Byron Martin ATC is home to one of our newest career and technical education programs, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, or as most folks know it, HVAC. We visited the class for a special presentation to learn more about this high-demand career.
I want to introduce the guys that are here with me.
So Robert Matton is one of our biggest sponsors here for our new HVAC program, and he has given us AC units, he's given us furnaces, and he just donated 12 new bags. And what also he was explaining is this is a dying trade. This is something that everybody is always going to need.
So really what we're looking to do today here at the ATC was just help the kids in the HVAC class get a better understanding of their opportunity moving forward. There's a huge gap in terms of the number of people retiring over the next 10 years that our industry is really looking to fill that gap. And so, you know, it was presented to us to come out here. We thought it'd be a great opportunity to build a partnership and hopefully help these kids succeed in the future with whatever their goals end up being.
Today's presentation, I got a specific idea of kind of where they started and how they got started. And knowing they're kind of started here in Lubbock in West Texas kind of makes me want to learn more about them and just almost draws me towards them.
Really that, you know, this whole experience, this whole business is just amazing and how, you know, it all works.
When kids graduate, I know for myself, we've got this thing where you're supposed to know what you want to do, because you got to kind of know what you're going to do so you know what to study in college. And I think the reality is most don't know. So my thoughts are, if you can learn a skill, whether that be the skill that you're going into as a blue-collar worker or it's something that you can do while you're in school, it broadens your horizons.
This class here, I think it just inspires everybody to actually find something they're interested in, and it allows students to realize this isn't just a laboring job. This is something that could be fun.
I really like being able to experiment with hands-on classes like HVAC, especially here at the ATC, because you don't sit there and watch videos. He shows you, and then you come out here and do it for the whole rest of the 2 hours that you're out here.
I hope to learn all of it. You know, I just like to soak everything in that I can.
And so it gives them a chance to get in the trade, put their hands on the equipment, understand what it really looks like in the business, and get a chance to work with others that have been in the industry for years and learn from them as they do that.
What a great program. Students interested in HVAC can contact their counselor to learn more. Stay up to date with everything Lubbock ISD by downloading our new app. Just search for Lubbock ISD in the App Store or Google Play. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back next week to highlight more great opportunities only in Lubbock ISD.
This has been a production of the students and staff at Lubbock ISD TV.
Learned about the Vietnam Memorial. Say that name. Nice to meet you.
Bayless Elementary honored our local veterans. The Plainsmen invited vets to campus for a special reception where they visited with students. Organizers say it's an important campus tradition.
I've been doing this program for about 7 or 8 years now. I'm just trying to teach patriotism and love for the country and teaching them about freedom and the service for veterans. Thank you for your service.
Roscoe Wilson Elementary celebrated Dia de los Muertos. Students dressed in traditional clothing, completed cultural activities, and enjoyed a performance by the Lubbock High School Ballet Folklorico de Oro. The Wranglers also learned about the history of this holiday and honored loved ones who have passed. Carmona Harrison Elementary encourages students to be kind, and during their kindness ceremony, one student from each grade level is recognized for demonstrating acts of kindness. The VFW supports this initiative by awarding one student with a grand prize. McKenzie Middle School welcomed families with their curbside coffee event. The Raiders say it's a great way to keep their community connected to campus.
It brings school-parent relationships together, just makes everybody's day happier and lets the kids know that their parents are involved in school and that we do care about them.
The Lubbock Symphony invited 5th graders from across Lubbock ISD to attend a Listen Live education concert. Musicians performed Realms, Exploring Musical Worlds at the Buddy Holly Hall. The program featured amazing selections from Mozart's Violin Concerto No. 5 and Stravinsky's Firebird Suite. Office Depot donated funds to Evans Middle School and Stewart and Whiteside Elementaries. It's the continuation from a campaign where customers donate at the registers. Bubba's 33 joined in the celebration, providing special gifts for our School's Educators of the Month Award. The Greek Festival at Roscoe Wilson Elementary was a culmination activity after reading about ancient Greeks and learning about Egyptian and African mythology. Students dressed as mythical characters, ate traditional Greek foods, and competed in Olympic-style games.
We ask our kids to be open-minded and risk-takers, and so when they try new foods that might look strange to them, it's from a different culture, but with that respect aspect. And so most of our students are going to be risk-takers during this time, and we were excited to see that they were happy and just seeing it all come together.
Now you're in the loop with Lubbock ISD.
Hello, my name is Nevaeh.
Hello, my name is Isaac.
Hello, my name is Abby.
And I'm one of the many Lubbock ISD TV students bringing you tonight's live stream.
If you appreciate our coverage, we hope you'll consider one of our sponsorship opportunities.
Your support gives us the opportunity to travel to state and national competitions,
where we represent our entire district in audio and video production contests.
Last season, our students received multiple awards in Skills USA and the Student Television Network.
If you'd like to support us, contact Kenneth Dixon with the information on your screen.
And thank you for watching.
Hello, my name is Emma. My name is Lily.
My name is Henry.
And I'm one of the many Lubbock ISD TV students
learning professional broadcast skills right now.
But we also do a lot more.
We have many student-produced shows
that allow us to grow our video storytelling,
producing, and hosting skills.
You can check out our work at any time at LubbockISDTV.com.
Or follow us on your favorite social media platform. We're on Facebook,
Twitter,
or X, or whatever they call it.
Whatever they call it nowadays.
Instagram,
and don't forget Threads.
And of course,
Lubbock ISD YouTube channel.
If you like our content, please show us
by hitting that thumbs up button.
Even better, share our stories so people can see the great things happening in Lubbock ISD.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Now back to the game.
Hello, my name is Henry.
My name is Angelo. My name is Lily.
I am one of the many Lubbock ISD
TV students learning professional broadcast skills right now.
We have the opportunity to work with professional equipment during our high school sports coverage.
Learning skills that have allowed many of our students to work college sporting events with professional networks.
If you appreciate our coverage, we hope you'll consider one of our sponsorship opportunities.
Your support will help our program continue to grow, providing funds that allow us to learn using the latest broadcast and streaming technologies.
If you'd like to support us,
Contact Kenneth Dixon with the information on your screen.
and thank you for watching.
Nothing at halftime. Devin Ward, Carson Ward, and the entire Lubbock ISD TV crew. We thank you for tuning in tonight. Here's your halftime stats, courtesy of the Lubbock ISD crew here in the press box. Carson, what stands out right away? Negative 47 rushing yards. Total plays, 41 total plays for Lakeview. Their total offense, though, they did get some passing yards. Over 200 yards is 153 total. But time of possession stands out. We talked about it and alluded to it, right? It glares at you. 20 minutes plus to 2 plus, and a little over 2 for Estacado, but the scoreboard says something different. Turnovers and home run plays has been the difference in this first half.
It really has, and normally, we've already mentioned it, but normally whenever you control the time of possession, you control the game. That has not been the case for the Lakeview Chiefs now, but I mean, man, just 2 minutes, 13 seconds, and you have 41 points. That is absolutely absurd.
It stands out. It pops. Let's look at some of the highlights from the first half, and we're going to go in chronological order. It was James Bozeman getting things started tonight. He had a 70-yard touchdown run. That was the first play on offense for Estacado, and he was gone. Impressive young man right there. We highlighted him in the pregame. You know, he is, as Coach Blaylock would say, as quick as a hiccup. Heard that on the radio this week. Of course, here's the Chiefs on offense, and it was, I believe, an interception right here, or a sack. Yeah, that one was the sack right there. Great play there by the Estacado defense. They've been flying around all day long. That was Keyshawn Harris. Of course, Lakeview still on offense right here, feeling a lot of pressure, and great defense once again. You know, they've given up yards through the air tonight, but they didn't break. Here's another angle of an interception right here. Here's the DeVoria. Boyd, pick six, give him 6. He scored twice in the first half, and something tells me his next touchdown might be our next highlight. No, it's going to be back on defense. Packard there with the reception. It's an awesome crawl. You remember that? That was something that we smiled about there. Of course, that crawl was Delton Johnson. Another sack on that play. All over the field tonight, Mekhi Williams. He might be our defensive player of the game, or player of the game in general. William Blaylock the second, connecting on that one to DJ Johnson. Johnson wide open in between the safeties. Finds the blue turf. That extended their lead. Of course, Perez comes in at quarterback. He gets sacked. The scoop and score by Keyshawn Harris. And again, everything going Estacado's way tonight. You saw time of possession. That's what stood out to me in the stats, and that's going to do it for the first half. Highlights, our highlight engineer in there doing all the replays. Caleb Galbraith did a great job on that replay, the recap right there from the first half, and it was a lot of highlights. He was a busy man there.
It was a lot of highlights.
We do want to hear from our coach. Coach William Blaylock, he was heading into the halftime. I know our awesome sideline reporter Tristan caught up with him. Tristan, what'd you hear from Coach?
Coach, can you please tell us, how do you think your players are feeling in this harsh cold right now?
I think they're playing good. They're not letting it bother them. It's a little windy out here, but they grew up in Lubbock, so they know what to expect this time of year, and they're not letting it stop the way they play.
And Coach, can you please tell us some amazing things we can expect from these players?
You can expect to see them keep playing fast, man. They're having fun. We got interceptions for touchdowns. We got long runs. So you can expect a lot of the same.
All right, thank you, Coach, and thank you, Mr. Ward. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Tristan. Yeah, 64 degrees out there right now. Winds hovering around 11 miles an hour. You know, as the weather starts getting colder and colder, Coach Blaylock on his radio show this week, 97.3, talked about it's big boy season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the guys that live in the trenches. They love it when it's cold, and it was really cold earlier this week when they were practicing. Tonight, beautiful night for football, though. Excited to see what they do here in the second half.
It really is. It's really like you just said, a beautiful night for football, and especially compared to Monday and Tuesday here in Lubbock of this week, it was frigid.
Yeah.
It was frigid this past weekend.
And it was the weekend. I didn't want to leave my house at all.
Oh my gosh, man! I had to work, and it was just.
Yeah, and you work at United, don't you?
It was a struggle getting to work, man.
There's the kickoff, and we're underway here in the second half.
And
but this is like the first time this year where it's felt kind of cold. You
Yeah.
need a jacket here at the stadium.
Yeah, and it's kind of those days now where in the morning you need the jacket. As the day goes on, you can shed it. You know.
Yeah, that's Lubbock for you, right? You better have a pair of shorts with you because it's going to get hot in the afternoon.
Right.
Of course, that's the weather this week. I remember watching our weather forecast. We'll be in the 80s all week this week, and so it's November, but feels like September here on the South Plains. Estacado, of course, deferred to the second half, so they're getting the ball here to get things started. William Blaylock, the second in at quarterback. High snap, he was able to recover it. It's a handoff to Bozeman, and that wasn't William Blaylock the second. That's DJ Johnson. I saw Blaylock warming up to start the second half, so that's what I get for assuming, right? It's DJ Johnson out there at quarterback.
One I want to highlight on something on DJ Johnson. He's had a very steady year this year. Maybe not the most explosive that he might have been looking for, but he hasn't needed to have that. This running game for Estacado has been a powerhouse for them all year long, and Johnson has been a great game manager more than anything. But something I would love to highlight within his passing is even though he's hitting on shy of 50% of his passes, he only has 2 interceptions. I know accuracy is based on completion percentage, but 2 interceptions at this point in the year is something to be hyped about.
Absolutely, yeah. You're 9 games in. You're almost 10 games in after this game, and of course he was just sacked right there on the play. I like what you said. They're steady, right? I love using boat analogies, Carson. So here we go. Here's on third down, though. Going across the middle. Caught by Cedric Ross to the 40 to the 35-30. He's going to score. Give him 6. Touchdown, Cedric Ross. From the 46-yard line, they throw a 54-yard touchdown pass, and the Matadors strike within a minute and 16 seconds of this second half.
And adding that to their time of possession now, that 2 minutes of time of possession, they have proven with their defense and especially the big plays on offense that they don't need hardly any time to go down the field and get a score.
We'll finish our thoughts on being steady at quarterback, right? After this extra point opportunity. You saw this before in the first half, the unique formation, and then running back in to kick the extra point.
Well, and they also ran that 2-point conversion out of it too,
right,
trying to catch Lakeview off guard.
Right, and here's the extra point by Luis Gomez. Up and good, 48-0 now. Matadors on top. Carson, they are perfect on offense tonight. When having the ball, they are 5 for 5. Of course, they had 2 touchdowns, a pick 6, and then a fumble recovery for their other 2 scores tonight. If you're Coach Blaylock, when you see the perfect category on the offensive side of the ball, you got to be smiling from ear to ear.
You are, and that goes to textbook defense because we know Coach Blaylock likes to go by techniques, by the book, do everything the right way and not overcomplicate things, and Estacado hasn't. They've been playing aggressive, but they've been staying within themselves besides the couple of penalties that they've been drawn off sides on. This game has been really, really textbooked for Estacado.
Yeah, we were talking about in the first half penalties, right? We want to see what the penalty numbers will be looking like. Lakeview has 6 penalties, 35 yards. Estacado, you already said it. It was the 2 offsides penalties, so it's 2 for 10 yards. All right, going back to the conversation about DJ Johnson, though, steady. right? You want a quarterback that is steady. I think that's a really good word, right? Going back to my boat references, you don't want to be on the boat in choppy water. You want steady water, and he's been the steady water for the boat of Estacado, and it's been smooth sailing for him this year, and it's been really fun to see his growth, and then, of course, them leaning on that great running game that they have. Fair caught at the 16-yard line by number 16 for San Angelo Lakeview, Michael Duran. So, Carson, my goal for you today is for you to do the play-by-play.
Okay.
Because, again, we're here to produce professionals. We saw an awesome commercial saying producing professionals. Been doing it for a long time, right, since the 1980s.
Man.
And so we're super grateful to be doing this. You ready for the keys? Do you want the keys to the car here?
I'll take them. Let's go.
All right, I'll fill in your role, and you'll take over. So, Carson, have fun, man.
All right, and there's going to be a handoff right up the middle, and it's going to get stuffed.
You see the linebacker coming in there on that second level, finishing off that play right there.
And that was Mekhi Williams again.
Yeah, you'll see here on the instant replay the tackle pulling right there. And it was a great contact there by the defensive lineman to get back around the backside. Isaiah Bulgaria was the one that made the initial contact, and it slowed him up there.
Now you have 2nd and 6. Going to be a little screen pass out wide. We've been seeing this a lot from Lakeview, just trying to get the ball into space with their playmakers.
Yeah, and that was a screen pass right there, and he had about 8 yards separating him from a defender, but great pursuit angle by Xavier Lucio. You'll see it here on the instant replay. Lucio was a solid distance away from him, but was able to take him down short of the first down. It's 3rd down and 1.
Well, but that's actually, I consider that a win on 2nd down because we've seen a lot of 3rd and longs, and now we finally have a 3rd and 1 for Lakeview as they hand it off. And they're going to get the 1st down, just keeping the legs churning. That's the best thing you can be doing if you're a running back.
Yeah, patience there, running behind that offensive lineman. You see him there kind of push off of his lineman there. A lot of running backs, you know, at this high school level don't have the patience right there. You love seeing it by the Lakeview Chief.
Well, and if you're a high school athlete, you normally look up to the higher level athletes, whether that be college or the pros. Take Taj Brooks from Texas Tech, for example. He has been proven this year to be a patient runner. He waits for those gaps to open up, and that's exactly what that run reminded me of, as they're going to run it with the quarterback this time on the option.
Yeah, that was a little RPO action right there for Perez. The first time we've seen him really tuck the ball and run tonight. He looks like a guy that could run some people over right there. Great read by him. In those moments, Carson, it's all about making the right read, and it comes down to repetition. Perez made the right one there as they get a gain of a few on that play.
When you run those read options, you're looking for one thing in particular. You're looking for if the defensive end is biting or not. If they don't, you hand it off. If they do, you take it yourself. As they go through the air again, and that's going to get picked. 3rd time, there's been a deep turnover. And that's number 7.
That's Luis Gomez. Luis Gomez comes in. There is a late flag that came flying in on that play. It's sitting at the 42-yard line right there. But Luis Gomez in zone coverage right there shifts over into that zone and picks that one off. We're going to hear from our officiating crew as they're meeting out there on the field at about the 35-yard line. You're looking at the Estacado Matadors eagerly waiting for this response here. You can kind of hear him in our headset. I don't know if we can hear him on TV, though. He's confirming his call. Here's Chase Shigurik. There we go.
During the return, personal foul, blindside block, the return team, number 0, 15 yards, 1st down.
So even though it was an interception, you got the blindside block, back them up 15 yards.
Here's the instant replay of it. Carson, I'm looking to see, and this is going to be the RPO replay right there from the play before. I'd be anxious to see who was the one that did the blindside block. You know, all these coaches, they instantly just want to hear, what number was it? What number was it? Speaking of awesome numbers, for Shondrick Smith, a guy that's a freshman on this team, number 77, Carson. He plays on the offensive line. Had a visit from Texas Tech. Will be in Waco this weekend, we heard, as we were coming up on the elevator.
Man, that's just such a good feeling for any football player is knowing that, hey, I'm good enough to go to the D1 level.
Yeah.
And having back-to-back weeks going on visits, that's got to make him be smiling.
Yeah, if our camera crew could find number 77, he's the left tackle. He's such a big-time playmaker on that offensive line. A lot of times your most important positions are the blind side blocker, right? Most of the time the left tackle and the center. And when you have a freshman playing that tells you something about him and his athletic ability.
It does, as Estacado hands it off again, running in between the guards, and man, what a big run that was.
Yeah, James Bozeman going between tackles right there and really planting his foot and gunning it, and a great gain there on the play.
Well, and he had the first play of the game for a 70-yard touchdown. We know how quick Bozeman is for Estacado, and he is displaying it. That's one of the main reasons why we highlighted him, because of the big game he had last week.
Yeah, he's as quick as a hiccup, right? That's my third time saying it tonight.
There you go. As they go through the air. Johnson scrambling, finding the open man. That's number 1, DeVorier Boyd, breaking away, weaving through traffic.
Oh, man,
he might score,
still going.
And he is going to score. Give him 6.
That's DeVorier Boyd's third touchdown tonight. 2 on the offensive end, 1 pick 6. Young man, have yourself a day. He's having fun tonight. I believe there is a flag down on the field, though, somewhere, because the officiating crew is talking to Coach William Blaylock.
There is, and there's also a chief slow to get up on the 2-yard line.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 20 of the defense. Those 15 yards will be assessed on the kickoff.
Okay, so the hit, and you know what? The hit was really late on that play right there, Carson. You saw in that instant replay, DJ Johnson let go of that ball, and the defender was at least 3 yards away from him right there. But DeVorier Boyd, that's an impressive run right there, and great field vision to be able to find the pay dirt.
As we're taking a timeout now, of course, every timeout is a UMC Children's timeout.
Yeah, UMC Children's Hospital. We thank them this year. Of course, UMC Children's Hospital is your Children's Miracle Network hospital. Carson, I remember going back and telling stories with the Children's Miracle Network at KCBD, and the impact that they make on every child there is truly incredible, and we thank them for sponsoring our timeouts this season. Carson, I think we should take a timeout as a Lakeview Chief is on the field.
I agree. Let's go ahead and take it.
Hello, my name is Henry.
My name is Angel.
My name is Lily.
I am one of the many Lubbock ISD TV students learning professional broadcast skills right now.
We have the opportunity to work with professional equipment during our high school sports coverage.
Learning skills that have allowed many of our students to work college sporting events with professional networks.
If you appreciate our coverage, we hope you'll consider one of our sponsorship opportunities.
Your support will help our program continue to grow, providing funds that allow us to learn using the latest broadcast and streaming technologies.
If you'd like to support us,
contact Kenneth Dixon with the information on your screen.
And thank you for watching.
Welcome back to beautiful Lowry Field.
Yeah, you see that same trick stuff, pre-snap, and I like this a lot, Carson. It's a new wrinkle that they're adding, I believe, this week. I'm not sure if they did it against Big Spring last week, but it has to keep those defensive players on their toes.
I'm sure it does, and I think that's the main reason why they do it. Just try to catch everyone off guard, possibly get a penalty.
Jimmy Garcia was the San Angelo Lakeview Chief. That was down on the field. You saw him as we were going to that timeout break, Carson, get some help up, kind of jumping up off the ground right there, so that's a positive sight to see. And he was able to walk off under his own power.
And obviously we hate seeing injuries, but that's one thing about sports is that injuries happen, and they happen frequently, more frequently than they should. But luckily for the game of football specifically, there's been technological innovations that are trying to make this game safer.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the way they tackle nowadays, it's not the same. And big plays like the big hits across the middle are now turning into flags, and so they're making it a safer game. And realistically, that's what it needs to be, right? Because you don't want brain injuries, because that's for life kind of stuff. And so making the game safer is important.
Well, and they're making different design changes to like the helmets, and I've even seen, I know I mentioned it a couple of games earlier this year about the bladder that's trying to be added onto shoulder pads. Cramps are a very common injury in football, and it's because of lack of hydration. When you have a bladder on your shoulder pads, it gives you easy access for water in between plays instead of having to wait for a timeout to get water.
Well, and then on top of that, right, you can put some cold water in there, and so on hot days, right, it would help you keep you cooler. And then at the same time, when you get tackled, and there's an onside kick right here, recovered by Lakeview at the 26-yard line, right? But if you get tackled, Carson, and you're hitting the ground hard, it could also be another little cushion for you. And so to me, that sounds like a 3-win right there, but how do you design it, right? It's going to be so hard to design something like that where it won't pop mid-game or break.
It almost makes me think that you would have to use a substance kind of like an implant where you know it could pop, but it's not gonna break.
Yeah.
You know, and it's there's so much science going into that. It might not even happen, but man, it'd be really cool to see if it really got brought out and actually happened.
Scooby-Doo's in the house tonight, Carson.
There we go. I saw him. It's gonna be a run up the middle. Gonna get a gain of about 2.
Carson, I know you told me that not to do it, but I'm doing it anyway.
Okay.
We have 5 seniors in the building tonight working our game tonight, and I want to give a shout-out to all of them. They've meant a lot to our program over the last 3 years. Of course, you were one of them. Carson Ward, Xavier Guzman, Caleb Galbraith, Emma Feist, and, of course, Abigail Garcia. And so we're so grateful for all of them, and all they've done for us tonight is y'all's senior night, and we're so grateful for y'all.
Well, we appreciate it. There's going to be another run and getting slung down, but getting a good chunk of yardage right there on the run.
Yeah, you're starting to see some new players checking in the game for Estacado. And, you know, if you're Estacado, you're liking this because these are the guys that are grinding, and they're the guys on the scout teams every game and every day in practice. And these kind of, when you allow players like this to start getting some reps, one, of course, it helps with depth, but two, it helps with morale of the team. You see the morale of the team on the sideline right now. A bunch of smiling faces down there.
Well, and I know from experience, whenever you have players that are sitting on the bench and, you know, you're waiting for your shot, you're trying to get that big
And there's a
chance.
big play right there. Not getting the first down.
You're trying to get that chance whenever you're up big. A lot of toxicity can come from the bench players because they're not getting these chances. And this just goes to show how good the coaching is at Estacado, giving the bench players some reps here up big by 55.
Yeah, Ryan Robinson there making the tackle for Estacado. 4th and 2. Can they make another stop, Carson? Oh, it's going to be another false start.
Now they're going to be backed up.
Yeah, the hard count is killing them tonight, Carson. It's been a lot of these penalties against them has been this.
Number 70. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
In theory, Carson, the hard count is supposed to benefit the offense tonight. It's been a detriment to them for San Angelo Lakeview because you've seen it multiple times where the hard count has kind of made the Matadors jump a little bit, and they could get a free play out of it, and they've had multiple free plays tonight. But I think there's been more false starts coming off the hard count than there has been free plays.
Well, and like you just said, it's designed to help the offense, but it's just so unfortunate whenever almost every time you do it, there's been a false start called. It's going to be punted away.
And a great bounce.
Great bounce. Picked up by number 11, Cedric Ross, and he's breaking away. He's got breakaway speed. Nothing but green grass ahead of him.
Yeah, adios, amigo.
Give him 6.
Cedric Ross gathered that one in. It had a great bounce to it. Defenders were in his neighborhood all around him. But once again, he shows why he is a next-level athlete, just a sophomore, a track star, and a football superstar. I love watching number 11 play the game of football.
When it's like you mentioned earlier about track playing such an important role in football, speed kills in football.
Yep.
No matter what position.
You can't coach it.
You can't coach it. That's a talent right there. Speed is a talent. And when you have a lot of it, good things are going to go your way.
Cedric Ross was a part of a relay team last year for Estacado that did go to state. I remember we went to their send-off rally at Estacado as they were heading out, and I remember him being a big part of it as a freshman. It's going to be a trick play here, Carson.
And they're going to scamper in for the 2-point conversion. We've seen that formation time and time again by Estacado. We've already seen them run the 2-point conversion once. Didn't get it, but this time they did. It was a read option.
Yeah, it was an RPO. Donovan Torres made the right read.
Illegal substitution. 12 on defense. Penalties decline. Try is good.
All right, so Donovan Torres is the one that takes it in right there. Great read here, Carson.
It was a great read, and like I was mentioning earlier, when you run a read option, you're looking for one thing specifically, and you're waiting for that defensive lineman to bite. Once he bites, the quarterback can pull it and take off for what could be a big gain, but in this case, 2 points.
So you see Cedric Ross right there. He had 2 defenders chasing him at that point, trying to catch up to him. But he was able to go the width of the field right there. He took advantage of how wide the field is in that moment, and he was able to score. You see William Blaylock II right there talking to his coaching staff. I like the shades.
He's rocking them.
Yeah, it's because his team is shining bright tonight. Sorry. The cheese got me right there. I saw a window and went for it. But it's true. His team has showed up tonight. It's 63-0 right now.
And we're seeing a lot of what happened last year.
Yeah, last year, the final was
61-7.
61-7, yeah. So, Carson, talking about the history of these two teams playing each other, like we said at the beginning of the broadcast, 205 miles separate these two programs and these two schools. And there have been plenty of matchups, especially when you play in a district with each other. Tonight's the 28th game between these two teams on the gridiron. The Matadors lead the series 20-7 and are primed to lead it 21-7 after tonight. Here's the kickoff with Luis Gomez.
And they're going to kick it deep this time. Fair caught at about the 16 or 17.
Yeah, I wonder why he's fair catching it right there, Carson. You know, where we at in this game, the score of the game, and realistically the defenders were still 10 yards away from you as he gathers that ball in. You gotta wonder why he fair caught that one right there.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. Part of it is definitely because you can get it up to the 25 if you fair catch it within the 25 yards, but also
you got nothing to lose where we're at in this game, right?
That is true, but there's also another aspect of it is saving the clock. You know, giving your offense enough time to maybe make a comeback. You know, I know at this point in time, being down 63 points, it's a long shot, but there's different aspects that go into it. There's a big run right there going down at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, great carry there going off the tackle. You know what you did right there, Carson?
What's that?
You done to me what I do to you every game, and I'm proud of you. You countered me, man.
Okay,
yeah,
let's go.
I presented something, and you threw the counter at me. Glass half full Carson Ward right there. I love it.
That's my mantra. I've been living by that for a couple years now.
You have. There's a timeout right there. Ian Cortez on that carry. Cortez has had himself a pretty successful night tonight, and we're going to take this timeout with him. Carson tosses to break.
All right, and there's another UMC Children's timeout, and we'll be back after this. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. It's 63-0. All right, and welcome back. There's a short 2nd and 1. And Lakeview's going to hand it off, fake the pass. They're going to try to fight for every inch that they can get.
It's going to come down to the spot, and I believe they're going to give it to them.
They got the first down.
So Lakeview High School is 1-8 right now this season over in San Angelo, and their head coach, Hector Guerva, was hired back in 2017. Of course, Estacado, their head coach, is William Blaylock. He's in year 2 leading the Matadors, and they've done great things, but great pass here, Carson.
And that's a big play. It looks like the ball came out.
It did. I believe Lakeview was able to recover it right there, but, well, I don't know. Oh, no, Estacado recovered it. It's going to be the Matadors' ball. The ball continues to hit the turf for Lakeview tonight. It's been a mixture, Carson, of special teams and offensive woes for them tonight. The Matador defense has been sensational, turning the ball over, making big tackles, bending but not breaking, And that's why the scoreboard still has a 0 on it tonight for San Angelo Lakeview.
This Estacado team has been phenomenal, like you just mentioned, but that was going to be a really big play for Lakeview that could possibly have led to a score. Splitting the linebackers there instead of the safeties. The safeties were playing a little bit deeper, but just that great big area of green grass around the receivers, what you're looking for. But the Estacado defense stripping the ball.
It's impressive.
It really is. You can't really teach that. That's more instinct than anything.
Yeah, William Blaylock's now in at quarterback for Estacado. What I've noticed tonight by Lakeview is they love to play in between the hash marks. They love to expose the defense in between the hash marks, and they've had moments where they've been able to pop off on big plays. But Estacado, time and time again, finding an answer for everything.
And that's really that's where all the mess is for the most part, but also that's also where big plays can happen because there's holes. There's a lot more holes in the middle, deeper down the field. And there's going to be a big run on the near side of the field.
Yeah, great blocking downfield for Estacado. On that carry was Joshua Cubitt. Cubitt continues to have some big runs and big success here in the second half. You see there, he hit that corner, had great downfield blocking from his lineman. 3 Lakeview Chiefs had to take him down there.
Well, and when we talk speed, it really goes into play when you play coast to coast, sideline to sideline. You know, the width of the field is such an underrated part of the field because everybody looks north and south.
Yeah, you want to see them get yardage. You don't want to see how long it takes them to get that yardage.
Exactly. There's going to be a big throw downfield into double coverage. It's going to be intercepted.
Yeah, Lakeview comes away with their first turnover tonight with that interception.
And they're still running.
Yeah, still going the distance. Flags come flying in. Making that tackle there to end the play was number 44, Jacob Delgado.
And I believe on the pick was number 19, Braden Packard. I might be wrong on that.
No, that was Packard, yep. He had the receiver there. He saw DeVorier Boyd, and of course Boyd is the top target, but like Carson alluded to, double coverage right there. And you know, this is something why you want to see the second quarterback get reps like this in a game, because if he's needed to call into action, you'd rather iron out the wrinkles in a 63-0 game instead of a 14-14 game.
Of course, and that's just part of the learning curve. You know, you're taking a shot to your 6'4" receiver. Why would you not want to try to test him?
We're going to hear from our officiating crew. A lot of dirty laundry was down there on the field.
2 fouls on the play. Holding. 52 the offense. That penalty is declined. Holding. Number 5 during the return. That penalty, the assess, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
All right, so multiple penalties, Carson. Of course, they declined that one because they want the interception right there, but Estacado will definitely take the penalty after the reception.
Two holding penalties, one on each team. If that holding penalty would have been earlier for Lakeview, then Estacado could have countered that, and it could have been a dead play.
That's the end of the fourth quarter, and you love seeing that right there. The assistant coach for Estacado was a dead sprint with his guys over there. And that tells you the energy and the excitement and the love that these guys have for each other here tonight. That was fun. That was really cool to see. You see that with the Miami head football coach, where he gets done with an interview and it's a dead sprint to the locker room. That's what we just saw right there as the fourth quarter is about to begin. Not a very long break in between quarters right here, Carson. Usually they take a little pause and a little timeout, but nothing going here.
I just think they want to keep this game going, you know. You see 4 wide receivers.
Yeah, and Chavez is back in at quarterback for Lakeview.
They're going to continue to hand it off. And, man, this Estacado defense has been something special tonight, man. This is...
Yeah, it doesn't matter who's in the ball game. That's Jalen Matthews there making that tackle.
Man, they're just all over the ball. And, it, like you just said, it doesn't matter who it is. They are there to make a play, and they're there to make a statement.
Yeah, this goes to show how deep this Estacado team is, because the starters are still out there for Lakeview. The quarterback that started the game tonight just checked back into the ball game and replaced Perez. So Chavez was the starter tonight.
And they're going to look deep again, but that's going to be overthrown, but incomplete. if there would have been a little more air under it, that would have been another interception for Lakeview.
Yeah, it looks like Dominic Hernandez or Antonio Willis on that far side. It was Willis. And you're right, Carson. There's just not enough juice on that ball right there. He kind of short-throwed it, and it fell incomplete.
And when you short arm a pass, it really limits your ability to throw it downfield.
Yeah, he didn't have the zip on it right there. He kind of threw it like a second baseman throwing it to first, right?
It was a really quick follow through. If he would have just followed through a little bit more, man, it would have been there. There's a 5-step drop and feeling all the pressure.
And going to be sacked on the play. Multiple Matadors getting there. Of course, once again, that was Jalen Matthews. Carson, reality's kind of setting in again. Once again, this is our final quarter of regular season football here at Lowry Field this season. And we're so grateful for the support that we've gotten on our YouTube channel and on Fox 34 News now throughout the season. So grateful for everything.
Of course, and it's opportunities that y'all are giving us, and we can't thank y'all enough as students.
Hey, we appreciate you guys, man, because without y'all, we're not putting on the show, right? We need y'all's commitment and y'all's buy-in, and y'all have shown it every week.
There's going to be a punt. It's going to be a high punt, but a very short one.
Think about it, Carson. I think this was the first successful punt tonight, and that ball rolled backwards to the point it will be a loss on the play, right? Because when they have punted the ball tonight, Carson, it's either been a bad snap or a botched catch. This was the first time they've been able to put the foot to the ball, and it rolled backwards there. We got a sideline report with our sideline reporter, Tristan. Tristan, what do you got for us down there, man?
Thank you, Mr. Ward. Bianca, can you please tell us, why did you decide to come out here and support your Matadors?
I came out here today to not only support the Palm squad that I'm a part of and the football team as well. We have many seniors this year, and it's our time to shine this year.
And please tell us, how do you feel about your team's amazing success tonight?
They've worked very hard, day in, day out, lunch, dinner. They do it all, and they deserve everything that they worked hard for today.
All right, thank you, Bianca, and back to you, Mr. Ward.
All right, thanks so much, Tristan. Tristan, we tip our cap to you tonight, man. You've been working so hard. And we debuted a new style of sideline reporting, and he embraced it, Carson.
He really has, and, man, it goes to show, we touched on it briefly earlier, but there's so many different aspects that revolve around a football game, and pulling some of the students, man, that really goes to show the creativity that Tristan has. Applause to you, man.
Yeah, and you know, he talked about the seniors with that student from Estacado right there. We do have a penalty on the play, and we're going to hear from our official.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Delay a game, and the entire team kind of runs to the sideline over here in celebration with their fans, Carson. I think they're enjoying this moment here, and it's because they've earned it. Like we've heard, you know, from that interview right there, there's 22 seniors on this Estacado football roster. They were sophomores when Coach Blaylock got here, and they've bought in on him and his program in EHS. This group is very close-knit and a fun group for this coaching staff to coach.
And you know that...
Yeah, you see them celebrating those seniors. That's what that was right there. I think that was a snap and a delay a game with all the seniors out there.
I think it was, too.
That's too cool.
Just an appreciation moment of the seniors, you know? I mean, they don't always get the most love because of the positions that they play, but we love to see the appreciation right there by Estacado. As there's going to be another run up the middle. They have been just running all over this Lakeview defense, and it's because of the offensive line setting up the blocks, setting up the holes for specifically Cedric Ross to run through.
That was Joshua Cuban on that carry, and it was a great cut right here. Made the defender just miss him to be able to get that extra yard on the play. Joshua Cuban showing some great speed tonight. Shout out to Xavier for the replay. One of our seniors here tonight. As you can tell on the broadcast tonight, we are celebrating our seniors, and of course the seniors at Estacado they're having a big night tonight.
5-yard penalty. Still second down.
And I would just like to say, it is really fun to be in class with every single one of these seniors here tonight, and especially the ones that aren't working, because they make me want to come to school more. You know, you talk about teachers a lot. Teachers play a very big role, but I think it's also the connections that you make within your class.
Yeah, you got 10 great seniors in that class. When Cubitt there getting hit pretty hard. I love that tight shot that we got of quarterback William Blaylock II from our camera 3 angle, he's wearing sunglasses tonight, even out there on the field. So that's something interesting to take note of.
It almost makes you wonder if they're prescription glasses, you know?
I wouldn't put it past it, right? You see Coach William Blaylock in his second season. His team looking to improve to 8-2 on the season tonight, primed to have a big run. And, you know, he's honest with his guys, Carson. He keeps it real with them. And, you know, players appreciate coaches like that.
There's going to be another false start, and that's going to be number 77.
Yeah, that was the guy that we highlighted just a second ago for Chandrick Smith.
Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Smith is a guy that's a freshman, getting a lot of big snaps, getting a lot of big moments, and a lot of big offers as of late. He was at Tech and will be at Waco this weekend to tour the Bears facility with Baylor. And that's awesome, man. That's a freshman.
As a freshman.
That tells you the kind of talent that Estacado has, because he got 2 running backs and the Ross brothers that have D1 offers as well.
There's going to be a short gain, and it's going to be about 4th and 5 now, as we do have an Estacado Matador slow to get up.
Yeah, and that's Smith once again. That's a guy you don't want to see down at all, because he's a big-time playmaker on that offensive line.
But he's able to get up on his own power, and he's trotting off the sideline.
Yeah, he kind of got rocked right there, losing his helmet on that play, and kind of that defensive end kind of put him on his backside right there. He's smiling on the sidelines, though. There's Coach Blaylock. Of course, he's a Baylor Bear himself, so I know he'd love to see Smith go over there to Waco to play for the Bears.
There's going to be another penalty.
Yeah, penalties starting to add up on this drive here for Estacado.
Ball start. Offense, number 50. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Well, and penalties have been a kind of a, I wouldn't say a strong suit, but they've been on the better half for Estacado, only having 2 after the first half of the game.
Right,
and it was on the 2 offsides.
Right, and so realistically, the only penalties in tonight's ball game has really come from this 1st and 10 scenario right here, right, as it's 4th and 9 now. What kind of play does Coach Blaylock draw up right here? Xavier all over those shots on coaches. I love it.
He is working.
He is.
Along with everybody else. We appreciate y'all. There's a pass to the end zone, but it's going to fall incomplete into triple coverage right there.
Double and triple coverage. Yeah, and he was trying to connect with Zarian Robinson there. You'll see here on this instant replay, Carson, the high snap, but realistically, that was one of the only few options that he had over there.
But when you have slants going across the middle, it's really kind of interesting to throw the ball right there, because you have 2 receivers that could possibly make a play on that ball. It just depends on who's in front, but you also have double, maybe, I mean, in most scenarios, it's double the amount of defenders in that same area.
You're looking at 2 William Blaylocks in the same shot right there. That's Coach and his son, and he's coaching him hard. You love it. You love to see it. Of course, you know, DJ Johnson, I believe Johnson is a senior. He is a senior, and so that young man is the future of Estacado football.
And there's going to be a handoff up the middle, running into his own man, but still getting a couple of yards.
You know what? I want to go back to DJ Johnson the second right there. That's a young man that has an extremely bright future. He has all the intangibles. I think he's got and you know, as a coach's son, you've been working the reps, you know the offense. I see a bright future with that young man, especially with the running back room that he's going to have with him when he comes back next year.
Well, and Blaylock just, I mean, he's been having a very similar year to Johnson, just been able to manage the game and take shots when he needs to.
Oh, and that's going to be intercepted.
Oh, man.
The pressure got to him. That interception is going to get credited to Devontae Robinson, the linebacker, right place, right time. And on the last offensive drive for Estacado, Carson, the stat of the day was that was their first time not scoring a touchdown. And they're going to immediately get an opportunity after Robinson's interception right there.
Well, and after the third quarter stats, or actually...
Yeah, that fourth quarter, we just got the third quarter stats, and it's already 1:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Hey, Zarian Robinson, though, was the one that caused that interception right there. Robinson got the pressure on Perez. Perez just kind of floated it up on a prayer, and the interception's going to go to Devontae Robinson.
Well, and that's going to be the third.
It's the Robinson-Robinson duo.
It's going to be a third interception.
Oh, and Cubitt fumbles it. Joshua Cubitt loses it there, Carson, and I think it's going to be a turnover again. The announcer jinx got him. I jinxed him, Carson, by saying that last drive was their first one not to score.
It happens. It happens.
It happens to the best of us. But the clock is going to continue to roll here, and that kind of tells you the night that we've been having tonight. Even though there's not a play happening, it's a turnover on downs, the clock will continue to roll.
Well, and looking at this game after the first half, Estacado up 41-0. This game had blowout written all over it.
Yep.
We knew Lakeview didn't want that to happen, but man, Estacado has just been overpowering them on every aspect of the game.
They kept the gas pedal down in the second half. Carson, I want to take a moment here, man. I want to thank you for everything you've done for up here and the students. Over the course of the last 2 years, you've laid a foundation up here in the broadcast booth. You set the standard. You did 9 pages of homework, and it shows. And so I want to take a moment as a senior on your senior night here tonight in our football booth. I'm holding back tears here, man. I'm getting sentimental. I just want you to know you mean a lot to us in our program.
Well, I appreciate it. I love y'all guys. Y'all are awesome. Y'all really made me find my passion.
Yeah, he's going to go to North Texas and be the Mean Green's next great broadcaster. That's the truth. 63-0 is going to be the end of it to Carson. I'll take the wheel back from you here. Final score, the Matadors win it. They improved to 8-2 on the season. Coach William Blaylock and this team are heading to the playoffs as the 2 seed.
And just a great regular season by the Estacado Matadors. Had a couple of hiccups, but easily able to come back. And if they can keep riding this wave of momentum, they'll be set up for hopefully a deep run in the playoffs.
They'll most likely play a team from the El Paso region that's traditionally the first round of the playoffs for a Lubbock region team. And so we wish Coach Blaylock and company the best of luck, as we'll be watching them and enjoying watching them play in the postseason as they go and chase those gold trophies. We wish them all the best of luck. But that's going to do it for our broadcasting season for football. Of course, up next for us here on the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel will be our basketball coverage, most likely starting up in January. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Shout out to our 5 seniors that are here tonight, and shout out to the 22 seniors for Estacado that win big in dominant fashion on their senior night. Final score one last time, 63-0. Estacado's victorious and they're postseason bound.
This has been a production of the students and staff at Lubbock ISD TV.